So viewers, so we'll take up the first question regarding the history. Which one of the following regions was Dhanyakataka, which flourished as the prominent Buddhist center under the Mahasangikas located? So Dhanyakataka antene actually ga Amaravati. Okay, Dhanyakataka is also called as Amaravati, Dharani Kota. మనం క్లాసెస్లో కూడా డిస్కస్ చేస్తాం. ధరణి కోట, దట్ బుద్ధ కేమ్ ఫర్ ద ఫస్ట్ టైమ్ టు సౌత్ ఇండియా అండ్ స్టెప్డ్ ఆన్ ద నాగార్జున కొండ అండ్ హీ టాట్ ధరణీస్ మంత్రాస్ టు ద స్టూడెంట్స్. సో దట్ ప్లేస్ ఇస్ కాల్డ్ ధరణి కోట, అంటే అమరావతి. సో ఆంధ్ర ఇస్ ద ఆన్సర్. సో ఫస్ట్ ఆప్షన్ ఇస్ అమరావతి, అందుకే ఇచ్చాడేమో సార్ ఇది. సో సెకండ్ క్వశ్చన్ సార్, with reference to ancient India, consider the following statement. Concept of stupa is Buddhist in origin. Stupa generally repository of relics. Stupa votive and commemorative Buddhist tradition. So answer is actually only 2 B. ఎందుకంటే సార్ the first one is concept of stupa అనేది అందరూ యాక్చువల్గా బుద్ధిజం అనుకుంటారు, బట్ stupa was the word actually mentioned in ఋగ్వేదం. సో అది బుద్ధిస్ట్ ఆరిజిన్ కాదు. అది ఆల్రెడీ ఋగ్వేదం మెన్షన్ చేసింది, కానీ స్తూప అంటే ఏంటి అనేది ఏం డిస్క్రైబ్ చేయలేదు. So it's a repository of relics. Stupa is a place where you see Buddha's ashes under the ground. So only 2.
Sir, ikkada
2 statements adutunnaru.
2 questions ichcharu already with regard to Buddhism.
Avunu sir.
The Buddhism, Jainism and Vedas. One, I mean every year in the ancient India that is the core.
Right. Every year 2 to 3 questions vastunayi sir. Third one, with reference to the ancient South India, Korkai, Poompuhar and Muchiri were well known as. Sir, Tamil related kuda 2 questions ichcharu sir isari. Third question and fourth question.
Right.
కోర్కాయ్, పూంపుహార్, ముచిరి. మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద స్టూడెంట్స్కి ఇది నాకు తెలిసి ముచిరి, పూంపుహార్ తెలిసి ఉండదు, ఎందుకంటే ఎక్కడ కూడా మన స్టాండర్డ్ బుక్స్లో ఇది మెన్షన్ చేయలేదు. కానీ కోర్కాయ్ అయితే మల్టిపుల్ టైమ్స్ మెన్షన్ చేస్తుంది, బికాస్ దిస్ కమ్స్ అండర్ ద పాండియన్ కింగ్డమ్ అండర్ ద 2nd century BC. సో పాండియన్స్ వల్ల పోర్ట్ ఏరియా. సో వెన్ రోమన్స్ యూస్ టు కమ్ టు ఇండియా, దే హ్యావ్ ఎక్స్పోర్టెడ్ ద పర్ల్స్ ఫ్రమ్ ద కోర్కాయ్ పోర్ట్ టు ద రోమన్ ఎంపైర్. సో ఆన్సర్ ఇస్ పోర్ట్స్ B. Fourth one. Which one of the following explains the practice Vatta Kirutai mentioned in Sangam poems? Vatta Kirutal. Vatta Kirutal, actually this is the word for the first time which was mentioned in Sangam literature. Malli Tamil lo Sangam nunchi malli second question ochindi isari. Mostly the current affair related Sangam actual ga Tamil. Answer is C.
Okay sir.
D. Sorry. A king defeated in the battle committing ritual suicide by starving himself to death. Vatta Kirutal అంటే ఇది
జైనిజంలో సుల్లేఖన టైప్ సార్.
అది కాదు. యాక్చువల్గా తమిళ్లో ఒక ట్రెడిషన్ ఉంటుంది సార్, వీరగల్లు అనే ట్రెడిషన్ ఉంటుంది. వీరగల్లు అంటే ఈవెన్ ద మూమెంట్ వెన్ కింగ్ డైస్ ఇమీడియట్లీ ద సోల్జర్ ఆల్సో హ్యావ్ టు డై. కొంచెం అట్లాంటిది ట్రెడిషన్ సార్. వట్ట కిరుటల్.
I think this kind of rituals we don't cover in class. It's impossible to cover.
Avunu sir. Next 5th question sir.
Fasting till death.
5th question manaki chronology based.
5th chronology based ఇచ్చాడు సార్.
Yes.
హోయసాల, గహద్వాల, కాకతీయ, యాదవ ఇవన్నీ ఇచ్చాడు. How many
8th century ఇదిలో ఉన్నా?
In early 8th century. None of the above answer. ఎందుకంటే హోయసాల, కాకతీయ, యాదవ ఈ 3 కాంటెంపరీ. ఇది మనకి ఎక్కడ డిస్కస్ చేస్తామంటే వెన్ ద నార్త్ ఇండియా వాజ్ రూల్డ్ బై ఢిల్లీ సుల్తాన్స్, అలావుద్దీన్ ఖిల్జీ అటాక్డ్ ఆల్ దీస్ కింగ్డమ్స్ ఇన్ సౌత్ ఇండియా. సో అలావుద్దీన్ ఖిల్జీ అంటే అక్కడ మనం కనెక్ట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు ఇన్ ద మిడివల్, దట్ ఈస్ ఇన్ 13th century. సో హీ ఆస్క్డ్ అబౌట్ 8th century. గహద్వాలా ఇస్ వన్ ఆఫ్ ద రాజ్పుట్, దట్ ఈస్ ఆల్సో ఇన్ 13th century. సో ఆ ఇయర్స్ అలావుద్దీన్ ఖిల్జీ అనేది ఒక్క కనెక్టివిటీ గుర్తుంటే ఈజీగా లింక్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. నన్ ఇస్ ద ఆన్సర్. So next one is 6th is direct factual based question, literature question. Devi Chandraguptam Bilhana, it's absolutely wrong. Devi Chandraguptam was written by Mudra Vishaka Datta.
Yes.
Hammira Mahakavya Naya Chandrasuri, this is the only right one. Okay. Milinda Panho is not composed by Nagarjuna, it's composed by Nagasena. Milinda and Nagasena's
discussion.
Neeti Vakyamrita is not about Somadeva Suri. So answer is only T.
One pair anamata.
Only one pair.
Yes.
Answer is
only two. No.
2. Only 2. B answer. B is the answer.
How many pairs they are asking the rights? Only one pair is.
Only one
pair is right sir.
అవునంటే ఏ అవ్వాలి కదా?
Yes, it must.
చూడండి.
Acha, how many of the above pairs?
Only one pair. Right. Only one pair is
okay.
right.
Only one pair is the answer. A answer.
ఇది దేవి చంద్రగుప్త మీరు
Devi Chandraguptam is not written by Bilhana sir.
Right.
It's written by Vishaka Datta.
ఇది హమీరా ఒకసారి చూడండి మళ్ళీ. అంటే మన వాళ్ళు BRC అని పెట్టారు, ఆన్సర్ ఏ అని చెప్తున్నారు.
ఆన్సర్ ఏ. Only one.
హమీరా మహాకవ్య.
ఇక్కడ కూడా చాలా కన్ఫ్యూజన్ అవుతారు సార్ స్టూడెంట్స్. హౌ మెనీ అబౌవ్ ద పేర్ అన్నాడు, విచ్ వన్ ఆఫ్ ద అబౌవ్ ఈస్ కరెక్ట్లీ మ్యాచ్డ్ అనలేదు.
ఎన్ని పేర్స్
దీంట్లో నీతి వాక్యమిత్ర is also written by
సోమదేవ సూరి,
right, nectar of the science of polity.
అంటే మరి రెండు పేర్స్ రైట్ కాబట్టి
నీతి వాక్య
బి ఇస్ ద బెస్ట్.
నీతి
వాక్యామృత సోమదేవ
సూరి.
సార్.
So that's where మీరు అది మిస్ అయ్యారు.
ఓకే బి అయితే టూ పేర్స్ సార్, టూ పేర్స్ ఆన్సర్ బి అవుతుంది.
బి ఇస్ ద రైట్ ఆన్సర్. నెక్స్ట్ సార్, నెక్స్ట్
సో సెవెంత్ వన్
Jainism.
I'll answer Jainism, sir. Souls are not only the property of animal and plant life, but also of rocks, running water, natural objects, everything. So this is actually the philosophy which is called as Anekantavada. Jainism lo oka philosophy untundi. Aneka Antavada ante multiple souls. Every living being and non-living being in this universe consists of soul. అది ఫిలాసఫీ జైనిజం.
ఈవెన్ మనకి సుప్రీం కోర్ట్ అందుకోసం అంటది సార్, గంగా నదికి కూడా రైట్ టు లైఫ్, రివర్స్ కూడా రైట్ టు లైఫ్.
That is the basis for that.
Yes sir.
I think they also in the judgment they have quoted that.
Yes, Namami Gange project. 8th one sir.
So 8th one is who among the following rulers of Vijayanagar Empire constructed large dam across Tungabhadra river? And answer is A. Devaraya I. Devaraya I comes under the Sangama dynasty, Vijayanagar.
Actually దీని మీద హిందూలో ఎడిటోరియల్ వచ్చింది సార్.
Okay.
Actually new missions water saving దాని మీద
Okay.
they have spoken about Karikala in Tamil Nadu. అతను కట్టిన డ్యామ్ ఇంకా స్టిల్ it is functional. And then he spoke about this Devaraya's contributions towards irrigation.
హంపీలో ఉంటుంది సార్ ఇది. 15 miles కడతాడు డ్యామ్.
Right. Yeah, I think we shall go and visit that.
Who among the following rulers?
Who among the following rulers of medieval Gujarat surrendered Diu to the Portuguese? Answer is Bahadur Shah. ఇక్కడ మనం ఈజీగా ఎలిమినేషన్ కూడా చేసుకోవచ్చు సార్. అహ్మద్ షా, మొహమ్మద్ షా.
చెప్పండి సార్, చెప్పండి.
సో బహదూర్ షా సార్, ఎందుకంటే బెగారా ఈజ్ ద వన్ హూ కేమ్ బిఫోర్ పోర్చుగీస్ ఓన్లీ. సో ద ఓన్లీ కింగ్ హూ ఈస్ కాంటెంపరరీ టు ద పోర్చుగీస్ ఇస్ బహదూర్ షా.
Okay. 10th one.
Then 10th one is
Polity.
the direct question, polity. Which one of the following acts Governor General designation changed into Governor General of India?
William.
It's a direct question. Charter Act 1833.
Okay
So
sir.
from here Santosh sir
Santosh.
arena starts.
సార్ మరి ఏమనుకుంటున్నారు సార్, ఎట్లా వచ్చినాయి సార్ క్వశ్చన్స్ ఇప్పుడు హిస్టరీ క్వశ్చన్స్?
సార్ ఇప్పుడు ఒక లాస్ట్ ఒక 2 years ఇంకా ముందు నుంచి అంటే అప్ టు 2020 వరకు హిస్టరీ అంటేనే కొంచెం అనలిటికల్గా అనలైజ్ చేసేసి కంప్లీట్గా వరల్డ్ హిస్టరీకి ఇండియన్ హిస్టరీకి లింక్ చేసి ఇచ్చే క్వశ్చన్స్. ఇప్పుడు ఆల్మోస్ట్ మనం డిస్కస్ చేసిన 10 questions లో 8 questions వరకు డైరెక్ట్ బుక్ టు బుక్ ఇచ్చాడు. అంటే ఎన్సీఆర్టీ చదివినా చాలా అది డైరెక్ట్. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇప్పుడు అది నీతి వాక్యామృత, సోమదేవసూరి డైరెక్ట్లీ మెన్షన్ ఇన్ ద ఎన్సీఆర్టీస్ అవి. సో ట్రెండ్ చేంజ్ అయింది సార్ హిస్టరీ.
Right. So it means history is, these questions are
relatively easy compared to last 2 years.
Right. Santosh sir.
సారీ క్వాలిటీ మనం డిస్కస్ చేద్దాం కదా సార్. 2 వాయిసెస్
సార్ మీరు మళ్ళీ మోడర్న్ ఇండియా క్వశ్చన్స్ ఉన్నట్టున్నాయి, అవి వచ్చినప్పుడు మళ్ళీ మీరు రావాల్సి
మీ
వస్తుంది.
కంట్రిబ్యూషన్ ఒకసారి సార్. ఇప్పుడు మనం పాలిటీ క్వశ్చన్ చూద్దాం స్టూడెంట్స్ ఒకసారి. పాలిటీ క్వశ్చన్స్లో మనకి మనం డిస్కస్ చేస్తుంది ఏంటంటే బి సెట్ బి. ఇది మనకి ఒక సెట్ బి ఉన్న వాళ్ళు చూసుకోండి. ఇది మన 11th క్వశ్చన్ నుంచి మనకి సెట్ బిలో పాలిటీ స్టార్ట్ అయింది. స్టూడెంట్స్ వ్యూవర్స్ జాగ్రత్త వినండి. ఇన్ ఎసెన్స్ వాట్ డస్ డ్యూ ప్రాసెస్ ఆఫ్ లా మీన్స్? సరే, ఇది మనకి డ్యూ ప్రాసెస్ ఆఫ్ లా మీద వచ్చిన క్వశ్చన్. మనకి ఫండమెంటల్ రైట్స్ ఈ మధ్య మనకి జుడిషియల్ యాక్టివిజం కూడా పెరిగిపోతుంది కాబట్టి. సో మరి ఆప్షన్స్ ప్రిన్సిపల్స్ ఆఫ్ న్యాచురల్ జస్టిస్ అంటున్నారు, ప్రొసీజర్ ఎస్టాబ్లిష్డ్ బై లా, ఫెయిర్ అప్లికేషన్ లా.
సంతోష్ ఇక్కడ ఏంటంటే మేనకా గాంధీ జడ్జిమెంట్ లో మనకు డ్యూ ప్రాసెస్ ఆఫ్ లా వచ్చింది కదా. there are 2 ways how it originated in India. అలా కాన్సెప్చువల్ గా చూసుకుంటే న్యాచురల్ లా కి డ్యూ ప్రాసెస్ ఆఫ్ లా కి there is close connection.
అవును సార్.
The natural law has to be the basis for this.
Yes.
Normally every law made by the legislature has to be just,
yes,
fair and reasonable.
Yes sir.
So and a fairness ఉండాలి చట్టంలో అని చెప్పేది డ్యూ ప్రాసెస్ ఆఫ్ లా.
Yes.
నాట్ జస్ట్ ద ప్రొసీజర్. దీని బేసిస్ మీద కొన్ని ప్రొసీజరల్ లాస్ ఇవన్నీ రావడం జరిగింది కదా.
అవును సార్.
సో స్టూడెంట్స్ నాకు తెలిసి ఏసీకి ఇది అవుతారు.
అవును సార్.
ఇట్స్ నాట్ ఎ ప్రిన్సిపల్ ఆఫ్ న్యాచురల్ జస్టిస్. న్యాచురల్ జస్టిస్ లో చాలా ప్రిన్సిపల్స్ ఉన్నాయి,
చాలా ప్రిన్సిపల్ ఉంటాయి.
ఇట్స్ ఎ వైడర్ కాన్సెప్ట్ దెన్ దట్. నువ్వు చెప్పినట్లు ఫెయిర్ అప్లికేషన్ ఆఫ్ లా విల్ బి ద రైట్ ఆన్సర్ టు.
మళ్ళీ న్యాచురల్ జస్టిస్ లానే అవ్వకాల్సిన పర్లేదు కదా సార్. ఇట్ కెన్ బి ఎనీథింగ్ న్యాచురల్ జస్టిస్. సో అది 11th క్వశ్చన్ స్టూడెంట్స్, మనకి ఫండమెంటల్ రైట్ పైన అడిగినటువంటి క్వశ్చన్. నెక్స్ట్ 12th క్వశ్చన్ చూద్దాం ఒకసారి. 12th క్వశ్చన్ ఏమంటున్నారంటే దిస్ ఇస్ రిగార్డింగ్ ద ప్రిజన్. ఇది మనకి ఏంటంటే క్వశ్చన్ షెడ్యూల్ 7 మీద మీకు నాలెడ్జ్ని టెస్ట్ చేస్తుంది ఈ క్వశ్చన్. రీసెంట్గా సార్ మనకి కోవిడ్ టైంలో కూడా ప్రిజనర్స్
చూడు అది వరకు క్వశ్చన్ ఎలా అడిగేవాడు షెడ్యూల్ 7 మీద విచ్ ఆఫ్ ద ఫాలోయింగ్ ఆర్ ఇన్ ద కాంకరెంట్ లిస్ట్, స్టేట్ లిస్ట్ ఇలా అడిగేవాడు.
అవును సార్.
ఈసారి క్వశ్చన్ ఎలా మారింది, ఆ స్టేట్ లిస్ట్ లో ఉన్న సబ్జెక్ట్ తీసుకొని దాన్ని అప్లై చేశాడు ఇక్కడ.
మళ్ళీ దీనికి మనకి ఏం రీజన్ ఉందంటే సార్, కోవిడ్ టైంలో జైలు ఓవర్ బర్డెన్ అయిపోయినాయి, వాళ్ళని రిలీజ్ చేయమన్నారు. అప్పుడు ఆ ప్రిజన్స్ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ వ్యూలో ఇది మనం అనుకోవచ్చు సార్. స్టేట్మెంట్ 1, ఇన్ ఇండియా prisons are managed by state government with their own rules and regulations for the day-to-day administration of prisons. మనకి స్టేట్ లిస్ట్ లోనే వస్తుంది కదా సార్ ప్రిజన్స్ ఎలాగో. స్టేట్మెంట్ 2, ఇన్ ఇండియా prisons are governed by the Prisons Act 1894 which
ఇక్కడ సంతోష్ చిన్న పాయింట్ ఒకటి చెప్తాను.
ఓకే సార్.
ఇక్కడ prisons are governed by the Prisons Act 1894 which expressly kept the subject of prisons in the provincial governments.
Yes sir.
ఇక్కడ ఈ క్వశ్చన్ స్టైల్ చూడు నువ్వు. 2011 నుంచి ఈ క్వశ్చన్ స్టైల్ డిస్కనెక్ట్ అయింది. ఫస్ట్ స్టేట్మెంట్ సెకండ్ స్టేట్మెంట్ ఎక్స్ప్లెనేషన్ అవడానికి ఒకటి కరెక్టా అనేసి. ఈసారి మరి ఈ రెండింటి మధ్య ఉన్న కనెక్షన్ ఉందా? ఈజ్ ఇట్ రైట్ ఎక్స్ప్లెనేషన్ టు ద ఫస్ట్ స్టేట్మెంట్ ఆర్ దే ఆర్ టూ డిఫరెంట్ స్టేట్మెంట్స్ అనే మోడల్ మళ్ళీ కొత్తగా వచ్చింది. దట్ ఈస్ ద న్యూ పాయింట్ విచ్ అవర్ R&D హ్యాస్ టు టేక్ అప్.
అవును సార్.
సో బోత్ స్టేట్మెంట్స్ ఆర్ రైట్, బట్ బోత్ స్టేట్మెంట్స్ ఆర్ దే ఆర్ కనెక్టెడ్ ఆర్ నాట్?
అవును సార్. మనకి ఇది చూసినప్పుడు మనకి ఇది ప్రాపర్ ఎక్స్ప్లెనేషన్ దీనికి కాదు అని మనం చెప్పుకోవచ్చు. ఇది మనకి కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ నుంచి ఆరిజిన్ అయింది, ఇది మనకి బ్రిటిష్ వాళ్ళ టైంలో యాక్ట్ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ వ్యూ ఆరిజిన్ అయిందని చెప్పుకోవచ్చు.
బట్ స్టిల్ టుడే వి ఆర్ గవర్న్డ్ బై ద సేమ్ ప్రిజన్స్ యాక్ట్.
ఎస్ సార్. ఎస్ సార్. Act which expressly kept the subject, so that is means we can another way can't we say that is the right explanation also sir then?
So but that's where the confusion is.
Yes sir.
So is that Prisons Act 1894 like Police Act is still governed by the colonial law?
IPC 1860.
Right. Is Prisons Act is still governing? If it is still governing, that becomes a right that
yes
thing. But by going by this, so day-to-day administration of prisons is in the state government, control of provincial governments.
సో మనకి బెస్ట్ పాసిబుల్ మనకి
బీకి వెళ్దాం మనము.
బీకి వెళ్దాం సార్.
రైట్. జస్ట్ వీ నీడ్ టు వెరిఫై దట్ ప్రిజన్స్ యాక్ట్ అది ఇంకా యాక్టివ్ ఎలా ఉంది అనేది ఒకసారి చూసుకోవాలి.
ఇనిషియల్ ఇంప్రెషన్ అయితే మనం బి వెళ్తున్నాము, ఇంకా ఫర్దర్ మనకి అవుట్కమ్ ఎలా వస్తుందో చూద్దాం.
కొంచెం ఒకసారి రీసెర్చ్ చేద్దాం.
రీసెర్చ్ చేద్దాం సార్. విచ్ వన్ ఆఫ్ ద ఫాలోయింగ్ స్టేట్మెంట్ బెస్ట్ రిఫ్లెక్ట్ ద చీఫ్ పర్పస్ ఆఫ్ ద కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా? చీఫ్ పర్పస్ అంటున్నారు సార్ కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా.
ఇది కాంట్రవర్షియల్ క్వశ్చన్.
అవును సార్.
ఇన్ ద కంటెక్స్ట్ ఆఫ్ డెమోక్రసీ నార్త్ కొరియా కూడా వాడు ఏదో కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ ఉందనే చెప్తాడు.
చైనా కూడా అంటారు కదా సార్.
చైనా కూడా అంటుంది
కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ ఉందని.
సో ఇన్ ద కంటెక్స్ట్ ఆఫ్ కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ యాజ్ ఎ పర్పస్ యాజ్ ఎన్ ఇన్స్ట్రుమెంట్, ఇఫ్ యు సీ మన కంట్రీలో మేజర్ థింగ్ ఏంటంటే టు గివ్ ఎ రైట్ఫుల్ లిబర్టీస్ ఫెయిర్నెస్ ఇవ్వడానికి సిటిజన్ కి.
అవును.
అందువల్ల స్టేట్ ముందు వచ్చిందా కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ ముందు వచ్చిందా? స్టేట్ ముందు వచ్చింది. స్టేట్ ఈజ్ అబ్యూజివ్.
అవును.
అంటే కాన్స్టిట్యూషనలిజం అనేది ఆ స్టేట్ పవర్స్ ని ఒక ఆర్గనైజ్డ్ పద్ధతిలో పెట్టి జనరల్ రైట్స్ ని ప్రొటెక్ట్ చేయడానికి వచ్చింది. ఆ కంటెక్స్ట్ లో చూస్తే సి ఇస్ రైట్. ఎనదర్ కంటెక్స్ట్ చూడు నువ్వు, ఇట్ డిటర్మైన్స్ ద ఆబ్జెక్టివ్స్ ఫర్ ద మేకింగ్ ఆఫ్ నెసెసరీ లాస్. సో అంటే ఒక వైడర్ సెటప్, లెట్స్ టేక్ డిపిఎస్పి పర్స్పెక్టివ్ లో చూసినా, గివింగ్ ఎ డైరెక్షన్ టు ద కంట్రీ హౌ ఇట్ హ్యాస్ టు బి గవర్న్డ్, హౌ లాస్ హ్యావ్ టు బి మేడ్. సో వాటికి ఇచ్చే ఓవరాల్ డైరెక్షన్ ఇచ్చే ఒక ఆర్గనైజ్డ్ లీగల్ పర్స్పెక్టివ్ అంటాం దాన్ని.
అదేలేండి సార్. మన 39B 39C చూసినా కూడా సోషల్ జస్టిస్ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ వ్యూ చేయండి కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్
రైట్ డైరెక్షన్. అండ్ దెన్ దానికి కావాల్సిన ఇన్స్ట్రుమెంటల్ వాల్యూ ఆఫ్ కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ ఇస్ పొలిటికల్ ఆఫీసెస్ క్రియేట్ చేయడము అది. అండ్ దెన్ వెల్ఫేరిస్టిక్ ఆబ్జెక్టివ్, నెక్స్ట్ పాయింట్ ఈస్ వెల్ఫేరిస్టిక్ ఆబ్జెక్టివ్.
yes sir. మనకి నెక్స్ట్ క్వశ్చన్ నెక్స్ట్ పేజ్ లో ఉంది మనకి.
రైట్.
yes sir. it secure the social justice, social equality and social security.
రైట్.
మరి మనకి దాంట్లో బెస్ట్ పాసిబుల్ మనము తీసుకోవచ్చు సార్.
రైట్. సో మనము లీగల్ పర్స్పెక్టివ్ లో తీసుకుని సి అనే దానికి వెళ్దాం మనము. We have debated a lot when they are keeping that answer. Manadram kuda chesamu.
Sir.
So let's go with constitutionalism from India's perspective. The primary objective of the constitution is to protect the life of a citizen, liberty of a citizen, and rights perspective lo veldam. If you go by rights perspective, C is the answer. Repu manamu UPSC key chesaka appudu telustadi.
Yes sir.
So there might be a debate between A and C. A and C మీద debate ఉండొచ్చు. We have to wait and see. It's a very స్కోప్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ ఈస్ వెరీ లో.
ఇంకోసారి మరి స్టూడెంట్స్ జనరల్ ఇదంటే క్వశ్చన్ వచ్చినప్పుడు కంట్రీ అన్నప్పుడు మనము అక్రాస్ కంట్రీస్ తీసుకోవాలి సార్. ఇది
క్వశ్చన్ చేసేటప్పుడు ఏంటంటే ఇండియన్ పర్స్పెక్టివ్ లో చేస్తారు, అందుకోసం సి చెప్తున్నాను.
అదే ఇప్పుడు మనం అనుకుంటున్నది ఏంటంటే లాక్సిన స్కీలో మనం ఇండియన్ పర్స్పెక్టివ్ లో చూడాలి. అన్లెస్ అంటే దే మెన్షన్డ్ అబౌట్ సమ్ అదర్ కంట్రీ కాబట్టి మనం ఫస్ట్ టైం ఇనిషియల్ గా అయితే సి అనుకుంటున్నాం సార్. నెక్స్ట్ 14th question.
It's a straight question.
In India, which of the following constitutional amendment was widely believed to be enacted to overcome the judicial interpretation of fundamental rights? Fundamental rights ki judiciary ki madhyalo మనం ఆల్రెడీ ఫస్ట్ అమెండ్మెంట్ 31A 31B యాడ్ చేసుకున్నాం కాబట్టి.
రైట్. అంటే ఫస్ట్ అమెండ్మెంట్ ఏంటంటే ఇట్ హస్ రిమూవ్డ్ ద జ్యుడిషియల్ రివ్యూ ఫర్ ది అమెండ్మెంట్ యాక్ట్స్.
అవును సార్. అమెండ్మెంట్ యాక్ట్స్.
రైట్. సో దట్ వేర్ ఫస్ట్ అమెండ్మెంట్. 42nd అమెండ్మెంట్ యాక్ట్ ఈస్ ఆల్సో కాంట్రవర్షియల్, which has tried to remove the judicial review.
అవును సార్.
సో యాక్చువల్లీ జుడిషియల్ రివ్యూ విత్ రిగార్డ్ టు ఫండమెంటల్ రైట్స్ DPSP dispute లో 42nd amendment act clearly said that a DPSP overrides 14/19/21. It do not
don't come under judicial review.
ఆ కంటెక్స్ట్ ఉంది కదా,
అవును సార్,
ఇది కూడా జుడిషియల్ రివ్యూని కట్టేల్ చేయడానికే చేసింది, రైట్, టు ఓవర్కమ్ ది ఫండమెంటల్ రైట్స్, రైట్. ఫస్ట్ అమెండ్మెంట్ ఆల్సో డిడ్ ద సేమ్ థింగ్.
yes sir,
it has tried to protect that. So but by and large first amendment will go with the answer.
yes. సో ఫస్ట్ అమెన్ ఏ దీనికి సంబంధించిన స్టూడెంట్స్ 15th కన్సిడర్ ద ఫాలోయింగ్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్స్ బాడీస్ ఇన్ ఇండియా. ఇది మనకి ఏది కాన్స్టిట్యూషనల్ బాడీ ఏది నాన్ కాన్స్టిట్యూషనల్ బాడీ అని టెస్ట్ చేస్తుంది. ఇది మీకు ప్రతి మచ్ ఈజీ, ఇది మనకి ఏది తెలుస్తుంది మనకి.
క్వశ్చన్స్ కాంట్రవర్షియల్ అవుతాయి.
102nd అమెండ్మెంట్ తో మనం నేషనల్ కమిషన్ ఫర్ బీసీకి కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ స్టేటస్ ఇచ్చాం. మిగతా మూడింటికి స్టూడెంట్స్ ఇవి రాజ్యాంగబద్ధ సంస్థలు కాదు, ఓన్లీ చట్టబద్ధ సంస్థలు కొన్ని, ఇంకోటి కొన్ని ఎగ్జిక్యూటివ్ బాడీస్, ఇందులో కొన్ని టెంపరీ బాడీస్ కూడా ఉన్నాయి మనకి. 16th వన్ సార్, మనకి ఈసారి లాస్ట్ ఇయర్ ప్రెసిడెంట్ ఎలక్షన్ జరిగింది కాబట్టి సార్ మనకి 2 క్వశ్చన్స్ ప్రెసిడెంట్ మీద వచ్చినాయి సార్. ఫస్ట్ క్వశ్చన్, if the election of the President of India is declared void by the Supreme Court of India, all acts done by him in the performance of duties before the date of decision become invalid అంటున్నారు. ఇక్కడ ప్రెసిడెంట్ ఎన్నిక, yes, ప్రెసిడెంట్ ఎన్నిక ఇన్వాలిడ్ అంటే ఆయన చేసిన యాక్ట్స్ వ్యాలిడే కాబట్టి స్టేట్మెంట్ రాంగ్.
ప్రెసిడెంట్ ఈజ్ నాట్ ద ట్రూ పవర్ కాబట్టి ఈజ్ జస్ట్ సీన్ యాజ్ దిస్ థింగ్ బ్రిటిష్ సిస్టమ్,
ఓన్లీ నామినల్ హెడ్ కాబట్టి మనకి ఇబ్బంది లేదు. సో ఫస్ట్ స్టేట్మెంట్ రాంగ్. సెకండ్ వన్, ఎలక్షన్ ఫర్ ద పోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ప్రెసిడెంట్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా కెన్ బి పోస్ట్ పోన్డ్ అంటే కొన్ని అసెంబ్లీలు ఖాళీ ఉంటే పోస్ట్ పోన్ చేస్తామంటున్నారు. అట్లయితే మన జమ్మూ కాశ్మీర్ అసెంబ్లీ ఖాళీగానే ఉంది కదా, పోస్ట్ పోన్ అవ్వలే కాబట్టి మనం ఇది సెకండ్.
That's an aspect of 7th Constitutional Amendment Act which has clearly stated that.
Yes sir.
అది ఏదైనా వేకెన్సీస్ ఉన్నా we don't take that into consideration.
It won't affect the election sir. మూడో చూద్దాం. When a bill is presented to the President of India, Constitution prescribed time limit. Constitution ఏమైనా టైం లిమిట్ ప్రిస్క్రైబ్ చేసిందంటే లేదు సార్. ఓకే, ఇప్పుడు ఇది గవర్నర్ కాంట్రవర్సీ అవుతుంది కాబట్టి ఇది మనకు స్టూడెంట్ నుంచి ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ చేస్తున్నారు. గవర్నర్ అన్లిమిటెడ్ గా బిల్లు వాళ్ళ దగ్గర పెట్టుకుంటున్నారు. సో మనకు ఆన్సర్ వచ్చేసి డి సార్.
అనేది పెట్టడానికి స్టూడెంట్స్ చాలా శంకిస్తారు.
అవును సార్, అన్లెస్ అంటిల్ దే ఆర్ వెరీ ప్రెటీ మచ్ షూర్ దే డోంట్ గో ఫర్ ద నన్ సార్. సో నెక్స్ట్ ఇది మీరు చెప్పాలి సార్. విత్ రిఫరెన్స్ టు ద ఫినాన్స్ బిల్ అండ్ మనీ బిల్ ఇన్ ద ఇండియన్ పార్లమెంట్ కన్సిడర్ ద ఫాలోయింగ్ స్టేట్మెంట్ సార్.
యాక్చువల్లీ ఫైనాన్స్ బిల్, ఫైనాన్షియల్ బిల్ ఆర్ 2 different.
అవును సార్.
ఫైనాన్స్ బిల్ ఈస్ పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ బడ్జెట్.
Yes sir.
And financial bill comes from the definition of Article 117. అంటే చాలా మంది ఇంటర్ప్రిటేషన్ ఫైనాన్స్ బిల్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వలెంట్ టు మనీ బిల్ అనే ఇంటర్ప్రిటేషన్ తీసుకుంటారు.
అవును సార్,
రైట్. ఫైనాన్షియల్ బిల్ ఏంటంటే ఇట్స్ ఎ మిక్స్ ఆఫ్ బోత్.
yes sir.
So the context of financial bill is different.
Yes sir.
Finance bill purely is an money bill.
Yes,
it's a part of budget.
It's part of budget.
Article 112 డీల్ చేస్తుంది కదా.
అవును సార్.
ఫైనాన్షియల్ బిల్ 117 రైట్. మనీ బిల్ 110. సో ఈ కంటెక్స్ట్ లో చదవండి చూద్దాం.
సో వెన్ ద లోక్ సభ ట్రాన్స్మిట్ ద ఫైనాన్స్ బిల్ టు ద రాజ్యసభ ఇట్ కెన్ అమెండ్, ఇట్ కెన్ రిజెక్ట్ ద బిల్ అంటున్నారు. సో మరి ఇది మనం మనీ బిల్ అన్న కాంటెక్స్ట్ లో చూస్తే చేయలేదు. ఫస్ట్ స్టేట్మెంట్ రాంగ్. వెన్ ద లోక్ సభ ట్రాన్స్మిట్ ద మనీ బిల్ టు ద రాజ్యసభ ఇట్ కెనాట్ అమెండ్, ఇట్ కెనాట్ రిజెక్ట్, ఇట్ కెన్ ఓన్లీ రికమెండేషన్. ఇది మనకి రైట్. సెకండ్ స్టేట్. థర్డ్ వన్, ఇన్ ద కేస్ ఆఫ్ డిసగ్రిమెంట్ బిట్వీన్ ద లోక్ సభ రాజ్యసభ దేర్ ఇస్ నో జాయింట్ సిట్టింగ్ ఫర్ ద మనీ బిల్ బట్ జాయింట్ సిట్టింగ్ ఇన్ ద కేస్ ఆఫ్ ఫైనాన్స్ బిల్. మన ఫైనాన్స్ బిల్ మనీ బిల్ ఆస్పెక్ట్ లో మనం ఆ ఇంటర్ప్రిటేషన్ తీసుకుంటే ఇది రాంగ్ కాబట్టి ఒకటే స్టేట్మెంట్ అవ్వాలి సార్, ఫైనాన్స్ బిల్. మరి ఇప్పుడు మనం దీని గురించి యూపీఎస్సీకి వచ్చే వరకు మరి ఇంటర్ప్రిటేషన్ ఎలా ఉంటుందో.
ఫైనాన్స్ బిల్ యూపీఎస్సీ కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ ఇస్ క్లియర్. ఫైనాన్స్ బిల్ ఇస్ పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ బడ్జెట్.
ఎస్ సార్.
ఫైనాన్షియల్ బిల్ ఇస్ 117.
ఎస్ సార్.
సో కాకపోతే ఏమవుతుంది 2018 if I am not wrong or 17 will many components of income tax they brought under finance bill.
Yes sir.
And it has become controversial
because speaker is certifying that they are bypassing the
రాజ్యసభని bypass చేస్తున్నారని కాంట్రవర్సీ అయింది.
yes.
ఆ కంటెక్స్ట్ లో మనం కొంచెం డిగ్ చేద్దాము. ప్రస్తుతానికి మనం రివైజ్ చేసేటప్పుడు ఏమైనా ఇద్దాం.
ఇనిషియల్ ఇంప్రెషన్ అయితే ఈ 17th క్వశ్చన్ కి మనకి ఓన్లీ వన్ స్టేట్మెంట్ ఇస్ రైట్.
దట్ ఈస్ ఇనిషియల్ ఇంప్రెషన్.
yes.
అండ్ స్టూడెంట్స్ ఇంకొక ఇండివిజువల్ సబ్జెక్ట్స్ మేము డెప్త్ లో చేసేటప్పుడు మళ్ళీ డీటెయిల్స్ క్లియర్ గా ఇస్తాము. రైట్.
ఇప్పుడు ఏ స్టూడెంట్స్ అయితే కనుక అట్లీస్ట్ మాకు కీ కావాలనుకున్న వాళ్ళకి మనం ఎఫర్ట్ పెట్టి మనము క్వశ్చన్స్ అన్ని కీ ఇస్తున్నాము. 1-2 క్వశ్చన్స్ కొద్దిగా కాంట్రవర్షియల్ మల్టిపుల్ ఇంటర్ప్రిటేషన్ మళ్ళీ మనం చేస్తాం ఇండివిజువల్ గా. కన్సిడర్ ద ఫాలోయింగ్ స్టేట్మెంట్ సార్. వన్ ఇస్ ద ఇది మన కమ్యూనిటీ రిజర్వ్ ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్ మనం డిస్కస్ చేస్తాం సార్ డీటెయిల్ గా. సో ఐ మీన్ మనకి ఆన్సర్ చెప్దాం. ద చీఫ్ వైల్డ్ వార్డెన్ ఆఫ్ ద స్టేట్ బికమ్ ద గవర్నింగ్ అథారిటీ ఆఫ్ ఫారెస్ట్ అంటున్నారు సార్. మనకి ఏంటంటే ఇక్కడ మనకి కమ్యూనిటీ రిజర్వ్ సార్. కమ్యూనిటీ రిజర్వ్స్ కి రైట్ ఆన్సర్ ఏంది మనం అంటున్నాం. చీఫ్ వైల్డ్ వార్డెన్.
ఐ మీన్ ఓకే జస్ట్ కీ చెప్దాం మనం. మనకి డెప్త్ లో
హంటింగ్ ఈజ్ నాట్ అలౌడ్ అండ్ పీపుల్ ఆఫ్ సచ్ ఏరియా అలౌడ్. ఇందులో మనకి ఓన్లీ 3 స్టేట్మెంట్స్ రైట్ అంటున్నారు. ఎందుకంటే ఫస్ట్ స్టేట్మెంట్ వైల్డ్ చీఫ్ వైల్డ్ వార్డెన్ ఓన్లీ స్టేట్ నోటిఫై చేసిన దానికి ఉంటారు, కమ్యూనిటీకి ఉంటారు. 3 స్టేట్మెంట్స్ రైట్, 3 స్టేట్మెంట్స్.
సి ఇస్ ద ఆన్సర్.
సి సార్ 3 స్టేట్మెంట్స్.
సో ప్రస్తుతానికి 18th క్వశ్చన్ కి మీరు సి అని పెట్టుకోండి ఆన్సర్. రైట్. కన్సర్న్ టీచర్ విల్ డిస్కస్ దోస్ థింగ్స్.
19th వన్ సార్. with reference to scheduled area in India, consider the following statement. ఇది మనకి లాస్ట్ ఇయర్ ఎక్స్టెన్షన్ సార్. లాస్ట్ ఇయర్ ఒక ఏరియాను షెడ్యూల్డ్ ఏరియాలో పెడితే ఏమవుద్ది కాన్సిక్వెన్స్ అని అడిగారు. ఈసారి షెడ్యూల్డ్ ఏరియాకి సంబంధించిన రైట్ ఆన్సర్ అంటున్నారు. విత్ ఇన్ ఏ స్టేట్ ద నోటిఫికేషన్ ఆఫ్ ఏరియా యాజ్ ఎ షెడ్యూల్డ్ ఏరియా టేక్స్ ప్లేస్ టు ద ఆర్డర్ ఆఫ్ ప్రెసిడెంట్ సార్. ప్రెసిడెంట్ ఆర్డర్స్ అంటారు. ఇది రైట్ మనకి. నెక్స్ట్, ద లార్జెస్ట్ అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్ unit forming the scheduled area is the district, and the lowest can be the cluster of village, or it can be village. So it can be anything. Second statement was right in. Chief Minister of concerned state are required to submit annual report to the Union Home Ministry.
Governor has to.
Governor. So only 2 statements are right. ఇక్కడ మనకి only 2 statements కాబట్టి రాంగ్ గా మనకి హైలైట్ అయినట్టుంది. B only 2 statements మాత్రమే రైట్.
ఆన్సర్ B పెట్టారు, హైలైట్స్ చేశారు.
ఓన్లీ 2 స్టేట్మెంట్స్ రైట్ ఇక్కడ మనకి. సో స్టూడెంట్స్ మీరు చూసుకోవాలి. నెక్స్ట్ మనకి ఇది రిజర్వేషన్స్ పైన అడుగుతున్నారు. ఈసారి మనకి ఈడబ్ల్యూఎస్ రిజర్వేషన్ వచ్చింది కదా, ఆ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ వ్యూలో నాగరాజ్ కేసు పైన కూడా వచ్చింది మనకి. స్టేట్మెంట్ 1 చూద్దాం సార్. సుప్రీం adequate numbers. The Supreme Court of India has held in some judgment that reservation policies made under Article 16(4) of the Constitution of India would be limited by Article 335 for the maintenance of efficiency, sir. Efficiency limit చేస్తుంది reservation.
So అంటే ఇక్కడ యాక్చువల్లీ the quality of administration and efficiency of administration shall not be compromised because of reservations.
Because of the reservations.
Administration అనే దాన్ని కంటెక్స్ట్ లో తీసుకోవాలి అని చెప్పడం ఇందిరా సాహనిలో చెప్పారు. ఆ తర్వాత నాగరాజు కేసులో రీఇన్ఫోర్స్
చేశారు. స్టేట్మెంట్ 2 లోకి వెళ్తే ఆర్టికల్ 335 ఆఫ్ ద కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా డిఫైన్స్ ద టర్మ్ ఎఫిషియన్సీ ఆఫ్ అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్. డిఫైన్స్ అంటున్నారు. కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ లో ఇది మనం పట్టాలంటే ఇలాంటి క్వశ్చన్స్ ఏది డిఫైన్ చేసింది, ఏది డిఫైన్ చేయాలి.
కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ లో ఏది డెఫినేషన్ లేదు, అదే మీరు గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. కొండ గుర్తు
ఆఫీస్ ఆఫ్ ప్రాఫిట్ ఇలాంటిది ఏమి ఉండదు.
ఏది డిఫైన్ చేయాలి, మనం తర్వాత చేసుకోమని ఇట్ హస్ లెఫ్ట్ టు పార్లమెంట్.
సో ఓన్లీ స్టేట్మెంట్ 1 is right, statement 2 is incorrect.
Right, ఈ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ క్వశ్చన్స్ UPSC discontinued because of controversy.
Yes sir.
AB లో ఆన్సర్స్ ఎప్పుడు కాంట్రవర్సీ వచ్చేవి, అందుకని UPSC డిస్కంటిన్యూ చేసింది. అగైన్ దే స్టార్టెడ్.
ఏది ఎందుకంటే 21 ఒకసారి మనకి సార్ వస్తే
సో మనం కొంచెం బ్రేక్ తీసుకొని మళ్ళీ స్టార్ట్ చేద్దాము.
షూర్ సార్. హలో వ్యూయర్స్, ఈరోజు మనం ఇప్పుడు కీ అనాలిసిస్లో మనకి సెట్ బి గురించి మాట్లాడుతున్నాం. ఆల్రెడీ మనకి ఇంతకుముందు వీడియోలో క్వశ్చన్ నెంబర్ 1 నుంచి క్వశ్చన్ నెంబర్ 20 దాకా డిస్కస్ చేసాం. ఇప్పుడు క్వశ్చన్ నెంబర్ 21 నుంచి 40 దాకా మనకి చరణ్ సార్ మన లా ఎక్సలెన్స్లో హిస్టరీ ఫ్యాకల్టీ, దాంతోపాటు మనకి పవన్ సార్. యాక్చువల్ పవన్ సార్ మనకి R&D హెడ్ మనకి లా ఎక్సలెన్స్లో మన మెటీరియల్ అన్నా కూడా సార్ మనకి గ్రాడ్యుయేషన్ IIT కాన్పూర్లో అండ్ జాగ్రఫీ ఆప్షనల్ అండ్ జాగ్రఫీ ఫ్యాకల్టీ కూడా సార్ మనకి. ఇప్పుడు పవన్ సార్, దాంతోపాటు మనకి చరణ్ సార్ హిస్టరీ ఫ్యాకల్టీ సార్, వీళ్ళిద్దరు మనం డిస్కస్ చేస్తారు. థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్. సో ప్లీజ్ క్యారీ ఆన్ సార్ రిగార్డింగ్ ద జాగ్రఫీ ఎక్స్ప్లెనేషన్.
18th కదా సార్?
21 సార్.
21. ఓకే.
Hi students, if you look at the 21st question, the 21st question is asking about India, despite having uranium deposits, depends on coal for most of its electricity production. So this is true. Despite having uranium reserves, we don't have uranium reserves in a large extent, but we have uranium reserves to a small extent. But we are still majorly dependent on thermal energy production, because most of the around 60% of the thermal energy electricity production is from the coal power plants. So then the second statement is talking about uranium enriched to the extent of at least 60% is required for the production of electricity. So this is not true. Generally low enriched uranium in the range of around 3 to 5% or even as less than 0.7% is used in electricity generation. So the second statement is wrong. So first statement is correct. So the answer will be C. Statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect.
Is this any current affair based question?
Yeah, this is in current affairs because India is looking at increasing its nuclear energy production.
Okay.
So that is why we are also looking at small nuclear reactors to the tune of 300 megawatts.
Okay.
So that's why this is in news. So the 22nd question.
So answer is C. 21 answer C. 22 questions.
22nd question is talking about marsupials. So marsupials are similar to mammals, but the only difference is in marsupials, the gestation period of the babies are not completely within the body of the mammal, but they are carried outside after certain some extent of the gestation period. So for example, take the case of kangaroo. Kangaroo carries its babies in its pouch, and they are not completely developed when they are delivered. So they get developed in the pouch of the kangaroo. So these are when the Gondwana land divided, we have marsupials across the Gondwana land, but since Australia got isolated much more than other continents where it has land borders to other continents, the evolution in Australia is completely different. So that's why we see marsupials mostly in Australia and certain South American countries. So this is one thing. Then the second statement is marsupials can thrive only in mountain grasslands with no predators. This is not true because majority of the Australian continent is covered by desert. So these are also found in deserts. So the
C.
correct answer is
Answer
C.
is T. Statement 1 is correct,
Yeah.
statement 2 is wrong.
So next, 23rd, invasive species specialist group. So develops global invasive species database. It is belonging to which of the organizations? This is a factual question. This is given by IUCN, International Union for Conservation of Nature. But you can say that this is in news because of the post 2020 global biodiversity framework, because Aichi targets, they were finished after 2020. So we have come up with a new global biodiversity framework. So in that sense, we are targeting a reduction of invasive species up by 50% by 2050.
Yeah.
So in that sense, it is from current affairs only.
Direct, so it's a direct question from
It's a
current
direct
affairs.
question, but it is mostly factual.
Sir, is there any change in the nature of asking questions regarding the compared to previous environment questions and present environment questions?
I don't feel there is much difference, sir.
Okay.
With respect to environment, in 2020 also we have seen this type of questions.
So 2020 also.
So
Okay. So direct question. from
Direct
the current
questions,
affairs.
but these are fringe topics.
Okay.
So most of them, they might not be completely aware of these things. So then the next question is talking about your nocturnal animals.
Species.
Yeah. So lion-tailed macaw, this is a diurnal animal. So this is not nocturnal. Malabar civet is nocturnal, and sambar deer is also nocturnal. So these are mostly active in evening areas after sunset. So that's why the correct
So how
option
many of the above are generally nocturnal, most active? Only
After
one,
sunset.
only two runners, sir.
is. So only two. Lion-tailed macaw is not nocturnal. It is diurnal. This is diurnal. So Malabar civet and sambar deer are both nocturnal animals.
Sir, out of three, so only one is
Wrong.
only one is wrong.
Yeah. So that's why the correct answer is 2.
Nocturnal.
Only 2. So
Okay.
the correct option is B. So then 25th, which of the following organisms perform waggle dance? So this is also, most of you might not know this, but honeybees generally they perform this waggle dance to let the other honeybees know where the food is, what is the quality of the food that is available, and the directions also they give.
Okay.
So this is called as waggle dance. So this might be, students might find it difficult, or some of them they might know this. So the next is regarding mushrooms. So mushrooms have many properties. So they have medicinal properties, they have psychedelic properties, they have insecticidal properties, and they have bioluminescence. All these things, various properties of the mushrooms, they are asked in the question. So
Sir, is
this-
mushroom is it current affairs, sir? Why this is a
mushrooms-
special question? First time I am seeing looking at this question.
We cannot
Mushroom.
directly say it is from current affairs, but I think they are testing the general observational skills of the people.
Yeah, somewhere I have seen in the newspaper
Yeah.
also, sir, about mushroom.
So even we have seen certain tourists, they are going to certain places like Ooty and these places where they are taking psychedelic mushrooms and they are dying.
Okay, okay.
So this has been in news for the 2 years back, I suppose.
Cha.
So in that sense, these are general properties of mushrooms.
So all the above are correct.
All the above are correct.
Okay.
So the next 27th, this is talking about Indian squirrels particularly. So here the first statement is saying they build nests by making burrows in the ground. So that is not correct, because most of the squirrels they make their nests in the trees, and generally they have squirrels, they store food by digging you can say holes into the ground. The peculiar aspect of squirrels is they are very they feel that their food is going to be stolen, so that's why they have to protect their food. So that's why they cover these burrows with leaves or other starchy material. All these things they do to protect their food, and they are omnivorous. That is, they eat both plant-based and animal-based, mostly insects. So they eat both. So that's why they are omnivorous. So first statement is wrong, but the other two statements are correct. So that's why the correct option is only 2.
Okay.
So then coming to 28th question. So some microorganisms grow in environments with temperature above boiling point of water. So this is true. So even if you see certain chemosynthetic bacteria in the ocean floors, where the water is very close to the boiling point or above boiling point, so we can say chemosynthetic bacteria growing there. Some microorganisms can grow in environments with temperatures below freezing point of water. This is also true. We have found microorganisms growing up to -20 degrees centigrade. So then some microorganisms can grow in highly acidic environment with a pH below 3. So this is missing, below 3. So this should be there in the question. So this is also true. Since you can answer this question by just simply looking at the possibilities. So some is a possibility. So you can take an educated guess based on the statement itself. So we can answer this. So then,
so based on the sum word, so we can
we can generally
come to some conclusion.
Because these are not categorical statements, right?
Okay.
So if they are categorical, none of the microorganisms, then also we can try to eliminate.
Okay.
So then next 29th question. So which of the following makes a tool with a stick to scrape insects from a hole in a tree or log of wood? So generally these are your chimpanzees. So these are mammals that are very versatile in using tools, especially stone tools or using wooden sticks to scrape their food. So orangutan is also one of the species similar to chimpanzees. So that is why orangutan is the right answer here. Okay.
B, orangutan. Okay.
So then 30th. So this is talking about hydrofluorocarbons. So most of you know we have come up with hydrofluorocarbons to substitute CFCs, chlorofluorocarbons. So but right now we are creating aerosols from hydrofluorocarbons, HFCs, foam agents, fire retardants. All these are created from HFCs. But generally you might not think that lubricants are made out of, because if you look at these things, these are related to certain form of refrigerating items or cooling agents. So all these things, 1, 2, 3 are somewhere related to refrigeration or cooling agents. But fourth one is not directly related to that. So you might be confused here, but there are certain lubricants that are made from HFCs also. So that is why the option is D.
All the four.
All the four.
But it's a little bit biased.
It is given to confuse students.
Yeah.
So most of them, they will just remember refrigeration and these things.
Okay.
But lubricants, they might get confused.
31.
So 31, Jhelum River is passing through Ular Lake. So this is your geography, basic geography question. So this is also correct. So Ular Lake is the second largest freshwater lake in Asia, and it is formed because of tectonic activity. So Jhelum River is, you can say, replenishing the Ular Lake. And the second statement is talking about your Koleru Lake. So Koleru Lake is between your Krishna and Godavari rivers. So it is closer to your Eluru. So that is why both Krishna and Godavari, they don't directly feed Koleru Lake, but there are certain seasonal streams which feed Koleru Lake. So that's why your statement 2 is wrong. And then the third statement is talking about meandering of Gandak River is leading to the formation of Kanwar Lake. Kanwar Lake is present in Bihar, but this is not formed because of the Gandak River, but it is formed because of the Buri Gandak River. So Buri Gandak River is nothing, Buri is nothing but it is old. So this is a tributary of Ganga that is flowing to the east of the Gandak River. So this is completely
I think
in Bihar.
this is from NCRT, sir.
Yeah,
Directly this is from the 11th class NCRT. It's physical geography textbook.
Yeah. So this is a very factual question.
Factual question.
Yeah. So either you remember this or you don't. So you cannot go around these questions.
32.
Then the 32 is regarding your ports. Ports are also in news this year. We have seen many drug busts happening in Mundra port. The largest drug bust we have happened in Mundra port. So that is also in news. So first statement is talking about Kamarajar port. So this is in Chennai, this is in Tamil Nadu. So this is the first major port in India incorporated as a company. So generally major ports are under the control of Union government under the Ministry of Shipping. So they are generally run by port trusts. So they are not companies registered as companies per se, but the government, realizing the various difficulties in running these ports, wanted to corporatize these ports, and Kamarajar port is the first such port that to be incorporated as a company. In 1999 it was incorporated, and Mundra port is the largest privately owned port in India. So it is owned by Adani Group. And then Visakhapatnam port, it is not the largest container port. Your JNPT is the largest container port in Mumbai. Okay, so that's why only 1 and 2 are correct here. That's why the correct answer is B.
Only 2 pairs.
Then 33.
It's about.
So this question is asking about deciduous trees. So this is also related to your NCRT only. Generally, most of you will know mahua and teak are deciduous trees. You might be not knowing what is
Jackfruit.
So jackfruit is an evergreen tree. If you look at Kerala Kerala is having a lot of jackfruit trees. They make curries out of jackfruit also majorly.
Okay.
So it is a evergreen tree.
So only 2 is the answer.
Yeah, only 2 are correct. So then 34, this question is talking about India has more arable land than China. So here it has to be land. It is missing. So that is true because majority of the land that is available in India is favorable for agriculture. But if you take the case of China, closer to 10% of the land is favorable for agriculture. So in the quantum wise, India has more arable land than China. But the second statement is talking about irrigated area. So, and one more thing you have to understand is it is talking about proportion. So proportion is nothing but percentage. So it is not talking about the quantum of the land. So that is why China is close to 69%. So India is closer to 48%.
Yeah.
So that's why this statement is wrong. And the second statement is talking about average productivity per hectare. So we generally read India's average agricultural productivity is less than China and many other countries. So this statement is also wrong. So that is why only one is correct. Then you can compare this because China is importing, this is also, you can relate it to current affairs because China is importing a lot of food. Okay, food stuff is being imported by China. And then 35.
It's a direct question.
Yeah, it is a direct question. So mostly this is because of the tidal action that is happening every day. Ran of Kutch gets inundated daily on a daily basis. So this is a factual question, or you can say this is also one of the PYQs.
Previous.
So Ran of Kutch is the marshland that is repeated falls of sea level is resulting in the creation of marshland.
Okay.
So then the 36th question is talking about ilmenite and rutile. So these are the ores for which of the following metals. So titanium is the answer here. So rutile is nothing but titanium dioxide. So TiO2. So this is also a straightforward question. But generally, most people will know about aluminum or copper or iron, but they will not know what is the source for titanium. So that there people might get stuck. Then 37th, this is also related to your current affairs. This is mostly because of the labor situation that is happening in the cobalt mining that is there. So most of these electric vehicle manufacturers, example Tesla or even Apple, they are accused of promoting or not looking into the forced labor conditions that are present in these Congo mines where cobalt is getting, you can say, mined. So that is why this is related to your current affairs. So most of the cobalt mining is happening in Democratic Republic of Congo. So this is also a current affairs question. So then 38th, so this is a factual question. So
Congo
this you can try to eliminate. So if you remember the location of the river, so then you can try to eliminate these things. So Congo basin is closer to the equator. So in that sense, South Sudan you can eliminate, Uganda you can eliminate, then Nigeria. This is in the western coast of the Africa. So generally equator passes, you can say towards the southern, towards the bottom of the African continent. So that is why you can eliminate Nigeria also. So you will be left with Cameroon. So then 39th. So this question is also factual. You can try to eliminate this, but most of the people might not know where Bilgiri Rangan hills are.
Yes, sir. Even we are here for the first time.
Yeah.
Bilgiri Rangan.
So these are present in the Western Ghats. So in the Karnataka state, they are present. So most of the people might not know this. So the people might find this difficult. But otherwise, Amarkantak hills, they are not in the confluence of Vindhya and Sahyadri, but they are in the confluence of Vindhya and Satpura. So Amarkantak, these are.
So answer is even third option is also wrong, sir.
Yeah, Seshachalam is Eastern Ghats.
Eastern Ghats.
This is not Western Ghats.
Yeah.
So you can.
So answer is none.
Yeah, answer is none. So
40.
then, with respect to India's projects, this is talking about connectivity. So East-West corridor, this is regarding the India's internal project itself. This is regarding your Golden Quadrilateral project. So this is connecting Dibrugarh and Surat. This is not true. This is connecting Porbandar and Silchar. Porbandar in Gujarat and Silchar in Assam.
Okay.
So then the second statement is talking about the trilateral highway that is connecting India, Myanmar and Thailand. So it is connecting Moreh in Myanmar, in Manipur to Mesot. This is also previous current affairs only. This is old current affairs. This is not the new current affairs that is there. But you can say right now we are interested in Kaladan project. So Kaladan project is inaugurated to certain extent. So the remaining part is only regarding the highway. In that sense, it is connected to that.
Yeah.
So we can add that. And the third statement is talking about Bangladesh, China, India, Myanmar economic corridor. So this was also world news. This is not the recent current affairs. So this is not Varanasi. This is Kolkata. So that is why this is also wrong.
So all the
so
everyone
all
is
are
wrong. Everything is wrong.
Yeah,
None answer.
So none.
Okay. So students, we have completed till 40. So we have completed so far history, polity, and geography. Just we will take a small break and then we will discuss economy from 41. Okay. Thank you.
ఓకే స్టూడెంట్స్, మనకి ఈ పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ వీడియోలో మనం ఎకానమీ రిలేటెడ్ యూపీఎస్సీ 2023 ప్రిలిమ్స్ క్వశ్చన్స్ డిస్కస్ చేస్తున్నాం. ఇది మనకి సెట్ బిలో 41 నుంచి మనకి ఎకానమీ క్వశ్చన్స్ స్టార్ట్ అవుతున్నాయి. 41 క్వశ్చన్స్ వచ్చేసి మనకి ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్ ఇన్వెస్ట్మెంట్ ట్రస్ట్ గురించి, ఫస్ట్ స్టేట్మెంట్ ఇన్కమ్, దాంతోపాటు డివిడెండ్, రెండు కూడా ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఏమో ట్యాక్స్ నుంచి ఎగ్జామ్ప్టెడ్ అంటున్నారు, డివిడెండ్ ఏమో ట్యాక్సబుల్ అంటున్నారు ఫస్ట్ స్టేట్మెంట్. సో సెకండ్ స్టేట్మెంట్ వచ్చేసి ఈ ట్రస్ట్ రికగ్నైజ్డ్ యాజ్ బారోవర్స్ అండర్ ద మనకి సర్ఫేస్ యాక్ట్ 2002లో బారోవర్స్ కింద రికగ్నైజ్
There is no dispute under this point statement too. It is considered as a borrower and then invest. And it can also fail. Investment trust also can fail.
ఎస్ సార్.
అండ్ ఫస్ట్ స్టేట్మెంట్ కి వచ్చేసరికి క్యాపిటల్ గెయిన్స్ ట్యాక్స్ అయితే షూర్ గా ఉంది.
అవును సార్.
సో ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఇన్కమ్ అనేది ఎంకరేజ్ చేయడం కోసం తీసేసి ఉండొచ్చు, లేదా డివిడెండ్ తీసేసి ఉండొచ్చు. పవన్ యూ హావ్ టు యాడ్ ఎ వాల్యూ దేర్.
You can audible sir.
Right.
So recently the government, in order to widen the tax base, they are taxing both interest and dividend.
Okay.
But they have brought in a caveat that unless and until the returns of the investment trust exceeds their issue price, then they are taxable.
Okay.
Before that they are not taxable.
సో అంటే మన ఇష్యూ ప్రైస్ కంటే దాటిపోయాక
Yeah.
టాక్సేషన్ పడుతూ ఉంటుంది. ఇఫ్ దే ఆర్ ఇన్ లాసెస్ దే ఆర్ నాట్ టాక్సబుల్.
Yeah, that's not losses, sir. Issue price, for suppose it is 100. So if your yearly return is around 20 rupees, so unless and until this 20 rupees over the years accumulates to more than 100, they will not be taxable.
Okay.
But once they cross 100, they will be taxable.
Okay. Right. So that means first statement is wrong
The
according
first
to you.
statement is wrong.
Right. Let's go with the answer D.
D sir.
Statement 1 is incorrect. Statement 2 is right.
Yes sir. Next
Now-
40 sir.
Now this is a simple question. 42nd.
Consider the following statements sir. Statement 1. In the post-pandemic recent past, many central banks worldwide had carried out interest rate hikes.
So now, during the pandemic, to encourage the buying capacity, etc., they have liberated the monetary policy, or easing of monetary
Quantitative
policy.
easing.
Quantitative easing చేశారు. దానివల్ల ఇన్ఫ్లేషన్ విపరీతంగా పెరిగిపోయింది.
Sir.
ఇప్పుడు ఇన్ఫ్లేషన్ ని టైటన్ చేయడం కోసం మానిటరీ పాలసీని టైటన్ చేసి పడేస్తున్నారు.
Yes sir.
దానివల్ల మనం రెసెషన్ ఇదంతా భయపడి చేస్తున్నాం.
Yes sir.
సో దట్స్ వై ఫస్ట్ స్టేట్మెంట్ ఇస్ రైట్. పోస్ట్ పాండమిక్,
Yes.
then they are withdrawing the stimulus.
One more is pent-up demand. That is-
Pent-up demand,
that is
yeah.
common.
Statement 2. Central banks generally assume that they have the ability to counteract the rising consumer prices via the monetary policy means.
Exactly. The statement 2 is right. Monetary policy very objective is to counter the price demand.
Yes, sir.
So inflation is that inflation targeting అని కూడా అంటాం కదా మనం
Yes,
దాన్ని.
sir.
So that's where first statement and second statement are right. Second statement is the right explanation for first statement.
First statement. So based
Answer
on
is
that, our answer must be
ఏ మన వాళ్ళు తప్పించారు.
Yes, sir.
ఏ ఆన్సర్ అమ్మది.
A answer question.
So change that as A.
42 question A. Set
A
below
answer.
42 question A. 43. Consider the following statement. Statement 1. Carbon markets are likely to the most widespread tools in against the climate change.
Yeah. నేను మీకు we have one company called Carbon Mint,
Yes sir.
which is a coin based on carbon credits కోసం చేస్తున్న కంపెనీ.
Okay.
నౌ అంటే ఫ్యూచర్లో అందరికీ చెప్పేది ఏంటంటే కార్బన్ మార్కెట్ ప్రతి కంపెనీ అకౌంటింగ్ దగ్గర కార్బన్ అకౌంటింగ్ అనేది దెర్ విల్ బి కాలమ్ టు ఇట్. సో కార్బన్ మార్కెట్స్ ఆర్ వైడ్లీ గెటింగ్ స్ప్రెడ్ నౌ.
Against the climate change. So statement 1 is right. Statement 2. Carbon market transfer resources from the private sector to the state.
It transfers from private to private, private to state, state to state. It is totally open market.
Anything can be possible.
All pervasive. So
Okay,
second statement wrong.
Sir, wrong కాబట్టి ఆన్సర్ వచ్చి C sir. Next question ఇద్దాం sir. Which one of the following activities of the RBI is considered to be the part of sterilization?
So whenever the liquidity is high in the market,
Yes.
the excessive liquidity has to be sucked by the RBI to control the inflation.
Yes sir.
సో ఫర్ దట్ ఇట్ కండక్ట్స్ ఓపెన్ మార్కెట్ ఆపరేషన్స్. ఎందుకు న్యూస్ లో వచ్చిందంటే డిమోనిటైజేషన్ టైంలో ద బ్యాంక్స్ ఆర్ ఫ్లడెడ్ విత్ మనీ.
Yes sir.
సో ఇఫ్ ద మనీ కమ్స్ that's where the RBI has to take certain steps.
Even recently, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, since
పెద్దగా మాట్లాడాలి నువ్వు.
Government is recapitalizing or supporting banks to
Banks.
give more loans. So that is why there is a lot of liquidity in the market.
సో ఆ లిక్విడిటీని సక్ చేయడానికి ఎస్పెషల్లీ స్టెరిలైజేషన్ ఇంకోసారి ఎప్పుడు చేస్తారు అంటే వెన్ ఎవర్ హ్యూజ్ ఎఫ్డిఐ ఇన్ఫ్లో, షేర్ ప్రైసెస్, ఎఫ్ఐఐస్ ఇన్ఫ్లో వచ్చినప్పుడు టు దట్ ఎక్స్టెంట్ లిక్విడిటీ ఇంక్రీస్ ఇన్ ద మార్కెట్ విచ్ కెన్ లీడ్ టు ఇన్ఫ్లేషన్. సో ఆ రన్ అవే ఇన్ఫ్లేషన్ కౌంటర్ చేయడానికి స్టెరిలైజేషన్ చేస్తారు. ఆన్సర్ ఇస్ రైట్. ఏ
45 sir. Consider the following markets: government bond market, call money market, treasury bill market, stock market. ఇది ప్యూర్ గా మనకి
క్యాపిటల్ మార్కెట్స్ ఏమని అడిగారు. కాల్ మనీ మార్కెట్ అనేది బ్యాంక్స్ మధ్య.
బ్యాంక్స్.
So we have generally two markets. One is money market and one is capital market. So capital market generally we don't assume that bonds are also part of it, but bonds are also part of it, but long term bonds. So your government bond markets, they are
treasury bill market is less than 1 year bills, so they don't come under the capital markets.
They come under money market.
So anyhow stock market we all know 1 and 4 are the answers.
1 and 4 are capital market. So students 1 and 4 is మనకి.
So అంటే only 2 అంటే క్వశ్చన్ 100% తెలియదు, ఎలిమినేషన్ లేకుండా చేసి పడేశారు.
Yes sir.
So they are killing the elimination.
46. Which of the following best describe the concept of small farmer large fields? Small farmer large fields. సో క్వశ్చన్
రైట్. దీని గురించి చెప్తాను నేను. మీరు ఒక వేద్ ప్రకాష్ శర్మ, మేజర్ వేద్ ప్రకాష్ శర్మ అనే అతను గ్రాటిట్యూడ్ ఫార్మ్స్ అని నడుపుతారు. సో దట్స్ గోయింగ్ టు బి రెవల్యూషన్ ఇన్ ద ఫ్యూచర్. ఒడిస్సాలో, ఐ మీన్ తమిళనాడులో, దే ఆర్ బేస్డ్ ఇన్ పాండిచేరి అండ్ తమిళనాడు నౌ, అండ్ యాడెడ్ టు దట్ ఒడిస్సాలో ఆల్సో దే ఆర్ డూయింగ్ ఎక్స్టెన్సివ్లీ. సో ద ఫ్రాగ్మెంటేషన్ ఆఫ్ ద ల్యాండ్ ఈస్ వెరీ హై. I think if I am not wrong 78% are small and marginal farmers in India. Economies of scale తీసుకురావాలి. So that's why aggregation of the land across the farmers is the objective. Right? అందరికి ప్రైవేట్ ఓనర్షిప్ ఉంటుంది, బట్ కలెక్టివ్ ఫార్మింగ్ చేస్తారు. This is the concept of collective farming. B is the answer.
So but instead of cooperatives, they are aligning their farming methods. They are not forming a cooperative per se, but they are indirectly bringing in the
and ఇక్కడ దీంట్లో ఎఫెక్ట్స్ ఆఫ్ అవుట్కమ్ ఆఫ్ కోఆపరేటివ్ ఫార్మింగ్ తీసుకొస్తున్నారు. ఇట్స్ మోర్ కలెక్టివ్. So there is a difference between cooperative farming and collective farming. Yeah, very good.
సో ఫస్ట్ స్టేట్మెంట్ వచ్చేసి మనకి రీసెటిల్మెంట్ ఆఫ్ లార్జ్ నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ మెనీ మార్జినల్ ఫార్మర్స్ ఇస్ ఇన్ ఏరియా ఆర్గనైజ్ దెమ్సెల్ఫ్ ఇంటూ గ్రూప్స్ అండ్ సింక్రోనైజ్డ్ అండ్ హార్మోనైజ్ సెలెక్టెడ్ అగ్రికల్చర్ ఆపరేషన్స్. సో ఆన్సర్ వచ్చేసి మనకి బి 46. నెక్స్ట్ 47కి వెళ్దాం సార్. 47 ఇట్ ఇస్ రిలేటెడ్ టు గవర్నమెంట్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా ప్రొవైడింగ్ మినిమం సపోర్ట్ ప్రైస్ టు సౌ నైగర్ సీడ్స్, అండ్ నైగర్ is cultivated as a kharif crop, and some tribal people in India use niger seed oil for cooking, sir.
Now here ఇలాంటి క్వశ్చన్స్ నాకు, this is a factual question, I don't have ఐడియా ఆన్ దిస్. ఇలాంటి మినిమం సపోర్ట్ ప్రైస్ ఏ క్రాప్స్కి ఇస్తున్నారు? 3 years బ్యాక్ దే హ్యావ్ లిస్టెడ్ అవుట్ ఆల్ ద సిమిలర్ టైప్. జిఎస్టీ వెయిటెడ్ మీద ఉంది ఆ ప్రొడక్ట్స్, దే హ్యావ్ లిస్టెడ్ ద ప్రొడక్ట్స్. దిస్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ క్వశ్చన్స్ ఆర్ బికమింగ్ ఎ నార్మ్. సో this all the 3 are the right answers according to the key people might have researched. I don't have an answer for this. The kharif crop or rabi crop అది నాకు తెలీదు. బట్ దిస్ స్టూడెంట్స్కి నేను ఇచ్చే మెసేజ్ ఏంటంటే జిఎస్టీ కొత్తగా వెయిట్ మీద వేస్తున్నారు, అలానే మినిమం సపోర్ట్ ప్రైస్ వెయిటెడ్కి ఇస్తారు. ఒక్కసారి టేబుల్ వస్తుంది మనకు, గో గ్లాన్స్ ఇట్ దట్ పర్టికులర్ టేబుల్.
And that's so along with that they have to do little more research on each crop. For example, this is MSP based,
right?
They have to go into the origins or more details about that.
And మనము టీచింగ్ ప్రాక్టీస్లోకి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు అండ్ ప్రిలిమ్స్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ కూడా విల్ ఆస్క్ ద క్వశ్చన్స్ టు బి ప్రిపేర్డ్ ద సేమ్ వే. టీచర్స్ కూడా మనము ఇలాంటిది ఇది కవర్ చేయాలని క్లియర్గా చెప్పాలి.
నెక్స్ట్ 48 సార్. Consider the investment in the following assets: brand recognition, inventory, intellectual property, mailing list of clients. ఏది tangible, ఏది intangible అని క్వశ్చన్.
కనపడేది tangible, కనపడేది intangible.
అంతే సార్.
Brand recognition, intellectual property, mailing list of clients is intangible. Inventory is nothing but our products. Stock, our amount of this thing.
49 sir. Consider the following: demographic performance, forest and ecology, governance reforms, stable government, tax and fiscal deficits, fiscal effects.
Government reforms వస్తే states will revolt if they include in horizontal devolution.
Obviously.
And stable government కి డబ్బులు ఎక్కువ ఇస్తాము అంటే that becomes northeast states will come and fight on that. So the 3 and 4 లేవండి. Demographic performance has 12.5, forest and ecology has 10, tax and fiscal efforts 2.5. 1, 2, 5 is the answer.
So 3 statements are right.
3 statements are right.
So 50th, consider the following infrastructure sectors: affordable housing, mass rapid transport, healthcare and renewable energy.
Let the Pawan answer this.
So this is
I don't know the answer for this.
Far out of the general comfort zone. So most of the people might not be knowing about this. So this is an infrastructure financing initiative. We are also not sure about the answer. సో మేము కూడా షూర్ లేము ఈ ఆన్సర్తో. సో వీఆర్ నాట్ షూర్ అబౌట్ మాస్ ర్యాపిడ్ ట్రాన్స్పోర్ట్, బట్ రెస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ వీఆర్ వెరీ షూర్ అబౌట్. సో దట్స్ వై
మాస్ ర్యాపిడ్ ట్రాన్స్పోర్ట్ కూడా ఫైనాన్స్ ఇస్తున్నారు.
సో
now mass rapid transport is also a sustainable investment,
yes,
according to me. వాళ్ళు ఇచ్చారు లేదో మనకు తెలియకుండా అఫోర్డబుల్ హౌసింగ్ ఉందా?
ఎఫోర్డబుల్ హౌసింగ్ ఉంది సార్, హెల్త్ కేర్, జనరల్లీ రెన్యూవబుల్ ఎనర్జీ ఉన్నాయి.
మాస్ ర్యాపిడ్ ట్రాన్స్పోర్ట్ అంటే గ్రీన్
Metros.
ఆబ్వియస్లీ గ్రీన్ కాబట్టి ఆబ్వియస్లీ ఇట్ షుడ్ బి.
So United Nations programs and project
Yes, sir.
what is UNOPS stands for?
సస్టైనబుల్ డెవలప్మెంట్.
I'm not so sure, sir.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have to.
Right, next question వెళ్దాం. So
51 చూస్తాం సార్.
మీ క్వశ్చన్ నెంబర్.
With reference to the home guards, consider the following statements. Home guards are raised under the Home Guards Act and rules of the central government. ఇక్కడ రూల్స్ ఆఫ్ ద సెంట్రల్ గవర్నమెంట్ అంటున్నారు సార్. ఇది మనకి ఈ స్టేట్మెంట్ కాకుండా స్టేట్స్ యాక్ట్ చేస్తాయి. సో ఫస్ట్ స్టేట్మెంట్ మనకి రాంగ్ ఇస్ సార్. ద రోల్ ఆఫ్ ద హోమ్ గార్డ్ ఇస్ టు సర్వ్ యాజ్ అన్ ఆక్సిలరీ ఫోర్స్ టు ద పోలీస్ ఇన్ ద మెయింటెనెన్స్ ఆఫ్ ఇంటర్నల్ సెక్యూరిటీ.
Right.
Obviously right sir. And regarding the home guard, state can make their own laws. I mean some states they can raise a special home guards that is known as border wing home guard battalion. ఇది మరి పంజాబ్ లాంటి స్టేట్లలో డ్రగ్స్ని కంట్రోల్ చేయడానికి కోసం అని చెప్పేసి తీసుకొచ్చారు. సెకండ్ స్టేట్మెంట్ థర్డ్ స్టేట్మెంట్ రెండు రైట్ కాబట్టి 2 స్టేట్మెంట్స్ ఆర్ రైట్. ఆన్సర్ ఇస్ బి. నెక్స్ట్ 52.
అది కూడా నీకు రిలేటెడ్.
With reference to India, consider the following place. Unauthorized wearing of police or military uniform, it is not related to Official Secret Act.
So Official Secrets Act is supposed to be dormant.
Yes sir. Classified documents.
It's
Classified.
supposed to be dormant.
Yes sir.
And that is overlap, that is RTI Act is going to replace that.
Replace that sir.
Right.
Knowingly misleading or otherwise interfering with a police officer or military officer when engaged in their duties. Obstruction of duty మనకి ఐపీసీలో వస్తుంది కాబట్టి ఇది కూడా రాంగ్ మ్యాచెస్ సార్ మనకి. అండ్ సెలబ్రిటీ గన్ ఫైర్ ఈ మధ్యన మనకి నార్త్ ఇండియాలో పెళ్ళినప్పుడు అది ఇది ఎక్కువ జరుగుతుంది కదా. సెలబ్రిటీ గన్ ఫైర్ విచ్ కెన్ ఎండేంజర్ ద పర్సనల్ సేఫ్టీ ఆఫ్ అదర్స్ అని మనకి ఆర్మ్స్ అమెండ్మెంట్ యాక్ట్ రీసెంట్గా అమెండ్ చేస్తారు మనకి 2019లో. ఓన్లీ 1 పేర్ ఇస్ ద రైట్ ఆన్సర్ సార్. ఇది మనకి వచ్చేసి 52 సార్.
So let's stop here.
Yes, sir.
And let's ask another team to come and take up.
So students, again we will start the new video from the 53rd question. Yeah. Regions of 10 mentioned in news: North Kivu and Ituri. Reason for being in news: war between Armenia and Azerbaijan.
So basically this is related to your news is in place. So North Kivu and Ituri, these are both interchanged. Actually Nagorno-Karabakh, so this is the area where both Armenia and Azerbaijan they have fought war in 2021. So
Okay.
Kherson and Zaporizhia, these are between Russia and Ukraine. So this is Zaporizhia is the place where we have the nuclear power plant in Ukraine. So these are the places in news with respect to the conflict areas.
So none of the above is correct. All the 3 are wrong.
Yeah.
So next 54, consider the following statements. Students, here they have given 2 statements. Israel has established diplomatic relations with Arab states. Arab Peace Initiative mediated by Saudi Arabia was signed by Israel and Arab League.
So this question is very old news. So this Arab Peace Initiative was proposed by Arab League in 2002 itself.
2002.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia is a proponent to bring, can say, peace between Arab nations and Israel. So, but Israel has not accepted this because, according to this initiative, Israel has to, you can say, give up its occupations in various places. For example,
Yes.
Golan Heights.
Okay.
So it has to give up its occupations. So that is why Israel has not signed this deal. So this has been reiterated by the Arab League in multiple times. In 2007 and 2017 also they have invited Israel to accept this initiative.
So this statement 1 is correct.
Statement 1 is correct.
Correct. 2 is wrong.
Yeah. So this is the recent Abraham Accords. So some of the Arab states, example UAE, they have signed diplomatic relations with USA.
Okay,
Sorry,
okay,
so Israel.
Israel.
So
So students, answer C is the correct answer. 55. This is regarding current affair question. It's a Major Dhyan Chand,
Khel
the
Ratna
Khel
Award.
Ratna Award for most spectacular outstanding performance by a sports person over a period of last 4 years.
So this is correct. Yeah.
Right answer.
Yeah.
Arjuna Award for lifetime achievement of sports person.
This is not true. So this is
Arjuna.
also considered over the period of 4 years. But this is for this is the first step. For example, upcoming sports person, he will get this award first. Then later on, if he is performing in a much better manner, he will get Major Dhyan Chand Khel
Dhyan
Ratna
Chand,
Award.
okay,
So
okay.
this is for showing leadership qualities or
Acha, Dhyan
sportsmanship
Chand is
qualities.
confined to last 4 years.
No, even this also is 4 years
4
only.
years.
Over 4 years performance, they will see
Okay.
in order to give this award.
So Dronacharya to honor eminent coach.
Yeah, this is
This is
correct.
absolutely right.
Yeah.
Rashtriya Khel Protsahan Puraskar.
So this
Sports
is
person.
not for sports persons. This is given for corporates. So it can be public
Okay.
sector entities or private sector entities or even sports bodies, for example, BCCA.
Okay.
So they are promoting sports to a large extent in the country because
Okay.
these are the sponsors for the sports. So that is why whenever a corporate is giving a lot of you can say support to the sport, they will be recognized through this award.
Okay. Okay. So answer is
This is correct and
Only-
this is correct. So both.
3
Sorry.
is also correct. First one is correct.
Fourth is wrong.
Second is
Second
wrong.
is wrong. So,
So 1 and 3 is
correct.
correct. So only 2 pairs.
Yeah.
56. Consider the following statements in respect of 44th Chess Olympiad 2022.
So this is recent current affairs.
Recent
only.
current affair direct question. Answer is actually B. Only how many of the statements given are correct? Only 2 statements.
Yeah. So this
It
was
was
conducted in Chennai.
Chennai.
So this is the first time Olympiad was conducted in India.
India.
So and the official mascot is Thambi. So this is also correct. But 3 and 4 they are actually interchanged.
Interchange. Okay.
So
Answer is B.
Yeah.
So 57. Area of conflict mentioned in the news. Donbass. It is in which country? Syria. Kachin, Ethiopia. Tigray, North Yemen.
so these are
So,
also
and,
places in news with respect to conflict areas. So Donbass is in Ukraine. Kachin is in Myanmar.
Myanmar.
Tigray is in Ethiopia.
So all
None
are
of
wrong.
them are correct. So that's why the answer is D.
In the recent years, Chad, Guinea, Mali, Sudan caught the international attention for which one of the reasons?
So these
I
are
think,
the
sir, all these countries there were some type
Coups.
of revolts,
yeah,
coups.
coups. So majority of the African countries
African.
are experiencing these coups because the resources that they have, mineral resources that they have. So that is why.
So 59. Answer is D.
Yeah.
58 answer D. 59. Consider the following heavy industries: fertilizer plant, oil refinery, steel plant. Green hydrogen is expected to play significant role in decarbonizing how many of the above industries?
So
Decarbonizing, sir. Question is about fertilizer,
basically,
oil, steel plant.
so basically we want to whatever the energy that is being used in these are heavy energy usage industries.
Okay.
So for example, take the case of fertilizers. Fertilizers also need a lot of energy. Steel plants, they need a lot of energy. So most of them are dependent on coal.
Coal.
So even oil refineries, they also need a lot of energy.
Energy.
So all these things, once green hydrogen comes into picture,
So all the three is
yeah, they can decarbonize these industries.
decarbonize. So next 60th question is also direct current affair question. G20 group was originally established as platform for the finance ministers, central bank governors to discuss international economic financial issues.
Yeah, so this is true. During the 1998 dot-com bubble, so in 1998 this was established as a forum for discussing financial matters. But after 2008 financial crisis, this was elevated to the state head levels.
State head levels. Digital public infrastructure is one of the India's G20 priority.
Yeah.
So answer is right. So both are correct.
So digital public infrastructure is very important right now. Aadhaar is there, UPI is there. India is trying to promote this digital public infrastructure. So that is also important.
So actually, so 61. This is the question regarding history with reference to Indian history. Alexander Ray, A.H. Longhurst, Robert Sewell, James Burgess, and Walter Elliot. All these are associated with the archaeological excavations. Example, Alexander Ray. He is the one who excavated the Nagarjuna Konda city in 1960. Robert Sewell, he is the one who wrote a book called Vijayanagara, the Forgotten Empire. So, they are all archaeological excavations regarding. 61, answer A. 62 students, site which is well known for. Basantnagar. First one, Basantnagar. Actually, the name is Basantnagar. Basantnagar is in Madhya Pradesh. Basantnagar is actually a Shaivite cave shrine. Okay. Then next, Bhaja. Bhaja is in Maharashtra. Bhaja is most popular for Buddhist caves. Sitanavasal, Jain cave shrine. So here, among all the three, answer how many of the above pairs are correctly matched? Only 2. Second one is correct. Third one is correct. Bhaja Buddhist caves which were built in 2nd century AD. Sitanavasal Jain caves which were built by Pallavas in the 8th century AD. Basantnagar Shaivite is actually the wrong one because Basantnagar is also a Buddhist center. So answer is B, only 2.
That too, we have found only pillars there.
Only pillars. Basantnagar. There is one foreign ambassador, Heliodorus, who visited the Madhya Pradesh Basantnagar and he issued the inscription there. Yeah.
So
63. Then here we will discuss again in the next video from 63. Okay, students. Thank you.
So welcome back. Till now we have done up to 62 questions. Now we are going to consider the 63rd question. So the 63rd question is talking about the 7th August is declared as National Handloom Day. And the second statement is in 1905, the Swadeshi movement was also launched on August 7th. So this is actually true, both, and the first statement is true, and the second statement is the reason for, you can say, declaring National Handloom Day on 7th August. So that is why the answer should be both A and both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct, but statement 1 is the explanation, correct explanation for statement 2. So change the key here. Then going forward, 64. So this is talking about national flag of India, and according to flag code, what are the standard sizes and what is the ratio between height and width. So the first statement is talking about the standard flag size of India. So it is given as 600 mm into 400 mm. So this is not the actual standard size. So actual standard size is 450 mm into 300 mm. So this is for bigger air, you can say, flights and other bigger areas. We use this type of standard size. But for cars and for tables we use 150 by 100. This is the standard. Then for cars we use 225 into actually 150. So these are the standard sizes of the flags in India. Then the second statement is saying that the length and the height, that is the width of the flag. So what is the ratio of these things? So if you look at these things, the ratio is 3:2. So this statement is correct, this statement is wrong. So your correct answer is D. Statement 1 is incorrect, but statement 2 is correct. So next, coming to the 65th question. So it is talking about the Constitution Day. So we celebrate Constitution Day on 26th November every year. So the first statement is saying that Constitution Day is celebrated on 26th November every year to promote constitutional values among the citizens. So this is correct. Then the statement 2 is saying that 26th November 1949 is celebrated as the Constitution Day because the drafting committee was set up on this day and under the chairmanship of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So this is not true. So we celebrate Constitution Day on 26th November because we have adopted the Constitution on 26th November, but majority of the features of the Constitution came into, you can say, force from 26th January 1950. So since we have accepted the Constitution on 26th November itself, we celebrate 26th November as the Constitution Day in India. So the correct answer is C. Statement 1 is correct and statement 2 is incorrect. So then the 66th question is talking about Switzerland is one of the leading exporters of gold in terms of value. Then the second statement is Switzerland has the second largest gold reserves in the world. So you might feel that Switzerland being a small country, why would it have such large amount of gold reserves or gold exports? So if you look at the case, 70% of the gold refining is happening in Switzerland. So refining, so basically Switzerland imports gold, then refines the gold, then exports the gold. So that is why Switzerland is one of the leading exporters of gold. It is also leading importers of the gold. Then the second statement is Switzerland has the second largest gold reserves in the world. So this is not true. First, the largest gold reserves are with America. The second is Germany. Then Switzerland comes somewhere around 7th. So that is why the second statement is wrong. So the correct answer will be C. Statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. So then the next question. So this question is talking about Trade and Technology Council between USA and European Union. So the first statement is USA and Europe have launched Trade and Technology Council recently. So this statement is correct. This was launched in 2021. You might get confused with the Trade and Technology Council between India and EU. So this was launched in 2023. So since this is an assertion and reasoning question, so if you look at the second statement, your confusion might get cleared. So the USA and EU claim that they are, because through this pact, they are trying to bring technological progress and physical productivity under their control. So try to remember, this is not true. Physical productivity under their control is not true. So this pact is, this Trade Technology Council is basically focuses on improving the transatlantic trade, and it is also focusing upon, you can say, increasing the technology sharing between Europe and USA. So we have also, India and Europe also have set up a similar Trade and Technology Council in 2023. Don't get confused between the two. Okay. So in a sense, this is current affairs based question only. So then the next question. So this is talking about India accounts for 3 to 2% of the global, 3.2% of the, this is 3.2, this is not 3 to 2, this is 3.2% of the global export of goods. So this statement is not true. India's exports in terms of global exports is around somewhere close to 1.8%. So, but if you look at the service exports are somewhere closer to 3.5 to 3.6%. So don't get confused between service exports and merchandise or goods exports. So then the second statement is many local companies and some foreign companies operating in India have taken advantage of the production linked schemes. So this is true. Both domestic companies and MNCs, they have taken advantage of production linked incentives. So the second statement is true, but the first statement is wrong. So that is why the correct answer for this is statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is not correct. So this is not correct. Then coming to the 69th question, the Stability and Growth Pact of the European Union. This is world current affairs. This is signed by the European Union during the Eurozone debt crisis. So after 2008 financial crisis, some of the countries in European Union, they were not able to manage their public debt. For example, Greece, Portugal, all these things, they have huge public debt. So that is why this pact was signed. So this is in a sense similar to our FRBM Act. So where we are following our trying to maintain sustainable finances, government finances. So this is also similar to that. So here it is all about managing public debt and aligning fiscal policies. So this is not anything related to share their infrastructure facilities or share their technologies. So these two statements are wrong. So this is only related to aligning their fiscal policies and managing their public debt. So that is why only one is correct. So first statement is correct, but the 2 and 3 are wrong. So answer is A. Then 70th. So this is talking about the International Global Compact on Migration. So this was adopted in New York. So this is also, you can say, 2 years back current affairs. So this is saying the first statement is saying that all countries of the United Nations have adopted the first ever compact on international migration. So all countries have not adopted this. So this is not correct. And the second statement is saying that objectives and commitments are binding on the UN member countries. This is also not true. These commitments are not binding on the countries who have signed to the pact. Then the third statement is saying that this is addressing internal migration or internally displaced people also. So this is also not true. One of the criticisms of this pact is it is not tackling the issue of internal migration or internally displaced people. So this is also not true. So answer should be not A, it should be D, none. So next, this is also related to your current affairs. This is places in news regarding your geography. So this is talking about what are the countries that are sharing land border with Ukraine. So Bulgaria is not sharing land border with Ukraine. That is not true. Then Czech Republic is not sharing its land border with Ukraine. Hungary is sharing. So Latvia and Lithuania, these are your, you can say, Baltic countries. So then Romania is sharing land border with Ukraine. So if you look at the case here, only 2 countries are sharing land border. So other countries that are sharing land border are Belarus, Poland, all these things, they are there. So we have to be very thorough with our mapping. So this is important. Then 72nd question. So this is also related to your geography. This is talking about insolation. So the first statement is the option A is saying that the total amount of insolation received at the equator is roughly about 10 times the insolation that is received at the poles. So this is not true. So if you take the case, average insolation near equator is around 320 watt per meter square. When it comes to poles, it is 70 watt per meter square. So you can say anywhere around 4.5 to 5 times of the insolation that is received at the poles is being received at the equator. So 10 times is not correct. So then the second statement is saying that infrared rays constitute roughly 2/3 of the insolation. So this is also not true. So infrared rays constitute majority of the outgoing, I can say, radiation from the earth. So insolation is mostly comprising of your UV and visible light. But earth also radiates, I can say, once it absorbs the insolation, it also radiates back the heat to the space. So this is what we call as long wave radiation. So in long wave radiation, majority of it is infrared rays. Okay. So in insolation, it is not infrared. So that should be clear. Then option D is saying that infrared waves are part of the visible spectrum. So this is also not true. Infrared rays are not part of the visible spectrum of the electromagnetic radiation. Then the option that we are left with, C. So infrared waves are largely absorbed by water vapor that is in the lower concentrated atmosphere. So we know that atmosphere is heated from the bottom, it is not heated from the top. So whatever long wave radiation that is coming from the earth, that is heating the atmosphere. Most of the gases, greenhouse gases, they are able to absorb this long wave radiation, and the water vapor is one of the major greenhouse gas contributors. So this is absorbing this long wave radiation, which is in the form of infrared radiation. So this is being absorbed by this water vapor. So this is correct. So C is the answer here. Then 73rd, this is basic your NCERT question. This is talking about soils in tropical regions. So the soil in tropical rainforest is rich in nutrients. This is not true. Tropical areas, they receive a lot of rainfall. Because of the excessive runoff that is there present on the surface, most of the nutrients are either washed away or leached to the lower parts of the soil. So as a result, the topsoil is generally deficit in nutrients. The second statement is talking about high temperature and moisture cause dead organic matter to decompose quickly. So this is also true. With high temperature and high moisture content, the metabolic activity of the microorganisms is increased. So as a result, the decomposition becomes much quicker. So as a result, most of the soils in the tropical areas, they lack humus content. So that is why, so this is correct. Second statement is correct. So the answer is D. Statement 1 is incorrect and statement 2 is correct. So next, coming to the 74th question. So this is also talking about temperature contrast between the continents and oceans. So the first statement is saying that the temperature contrast between continents and oceans is greater during the summer season than the winter season. So generally this is not true. The temperature contrast that we observe between oceans and continents is much greater during the winter months compared to the summer months. So coming to the 74th question. So this is talking about the temperature contrast between continents and oceans. So this is the first statement is saying that the temperature contrast between continents and oceans is greater during the summer season than in the winter season. So this is not true. So generally we observe that the temperature contrast is much more higher during the winters compared to the summer months. So then the second statement is saying that the specific heat of water is more than that of the land surface. So this statement is correct. So generally we observe that water needs a lot more energy to get heated compared to the land. So we know that land gets heated very quickly and cools down very quickly. So but compared to the water heats up slowly and cools down slowly. So that is why statement 2 is correct. So your correct answer is D. So next, the 75th question. So this is regarding your earthquakes. So this is talking about seismograph. This is also basic NCERT. So it is saying that P waves are recorded earlier than the S waves. So P waves are much faster than S waves. So that is why generally P waves are first recorded on the seismograph, then we observe S waves. So this is true. Then the second statement is saying that in P waves, the individual particles vibrate to and fro in the direction of the wave propagation. So basically this is saying that P waves are longitudinal waves. So that is correct. Then the second part of the statement is saying that in S waves, the particles vibrate up and down. So S waves are actually transverse waves. So in transverse wave, the particle move vertical to the direction of the motion of the wave. So that is why this statement is correct. So both 1 and 2 are correct. So that is the correct answer. So then the 76th question is talking about thermal power plants, coal-based power plants in India. So if you look at the statements here, so these are little extreme statements. So the first statement is saying that none of them uses seawater. So generally water is used for cooling purposes in thermal power plants and steam generation. So right now the concern is in India, majority of the water usage efficiency, there is no water efficient use of water in thermal power plants. So we are very much worried because of this water depleting water scenario in India. So that is why we are looking at various solutions. So using seawater is one of the suggestions that was given by Niti Aayog and various other committees. So but we are not very sure whether some thermal power plants are right now using seawater instead of fresh water. So we are not very sure about this. But if you look at the second statement, none of them is set up in the water stress districts. So this is not true. There are thermal power plants that are present in water stress districts also. So then the third statement is saying that none of them are privately owned. So this is also not true. Many of the thermal power plants are privately owned. So your statement 2 and 3 are categorically wrong, but I am not very sure about the first statement, because right now this was a suggestion given to use seawater to you can say combat the water scarce situation in majority of the places. So but we are going with the option D, so that it might also be C, not C, B, not B, sorry, A. Only one statement is correct. So A or D can be your answer. Then the 77th question is talking about Wolbachia method. So this is also your current affairs. So this is regarding your controlling the spread of mosquito-borne diseases, mostly your malaria, dengue, various other diseases that are coming from mosquitoes. So in this, we are introducing this Wolbachia bacteria. This is a bacteria. So it is introduced in the mosquitoes. So generally, this reduces the fertility of the mosquitoes. So when we are introducing this bacteria, so the generation of offspring from the mosquito goes down. So that is how we are trying to control the spread of mosquitoes. So it can be either introduced across the mosquitoes or it can be introduced only in the male mosquitoes. So this is regarding your Wolbachia method. So this is the correct answer is A. This is controlling viral diseases spread by mosquitoes. So then 78th, this is talking about your carbon sequestration methods. So this is your CCUS technologies. So the first statement is talking about spreading finely ground basalt rock on farmlands extensively. So this is one of the methods to capture carbon dioxide, because whenever we are spreading ground basalt on the surface, whatever carbon dioxide that is present in the atmosphere reacts with these rock materials and it forms carbonates. So carbonates are formed. So in this manner, carbon is getting captured from the atmosphere. So then the second statement is talking about increasing alkalinity of the oceans by adding lime. So generally what happens is oceans are absorbing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, but the free carbonate ions that are available in the ocean is going down. So as a result, oceans are getting acidic because of the large amount of oxygen, that is carbon dioxide, that is getting absorbed by the oceans. So as a result, this second statement is proposing adding more carbonate ions to the ocean surface so that it can capture additional carbon dioxide that is present in the atmosphere. So this statement is also correct. Then the third statement is talking about capturing carbon dioxide that is released by various industries and pumping it into subterranean mines. So there are many mines, abandoned mines. So these mines can be filled with this with the carbonated water infused by the carbon dioxide that is emitted from the industries. So here the correct option is C. All three statements are correct.
Okay, so 79th, sir. Aerial metagenomics best refers to which one of the following situations, sir?
So metagenomics is talking about, so generally when we are collecting genetic samples, so we collect from an individual.
Yes.
But by doing this, we cannot get the entire picture of the ecosystem.
Yes.
So instead of that, we want to collect the amount of large amount of DNA that is available in the ecosystems at one go.
In one go. So the answer must be?
So either it is can be water or air.
Okay.
So this is to collect DNA at a very large scale in one go.
So we can move to the next question. So answer must be A, sir.
Answer is A. Yeah.
Next, 8th one, sir.
So,
microsatellite DNA is used in the case of which one of the following? They are asking about the microsatellite DNA.
So microsatellite DNA is nothing but these are the short repeating you can say
tandem
sequences that are present in the DNA.
Yes.
So these are also called as STR.
Yes.
Okay. So by studying this, we can understand the evolutionary relationships
among the species.
And it is also used for DNA fingerprinting.
Yes.
All these things it is used for.
Regarding the Shraddha Vakar case, recently they used the
Yeah,
DNA fingerprint. Next, 81. So 80 is answer is A. Consider the following statement in relation to Janani Suraksha Yojana. They are asking about the scheme, sir. It is safe motherhood intervention of the state health department. It must
That
be
is
right.
not true.
Not?
This is National Health Mission.
Oh, they are
Nature.
saying about state.
Yeah.
So wrong. Its objective is to reduce the maternal and neonatal mortality among the poor pregnant women.
Yeah, that is
the
true.
objective it
That
must
is
be.
correct.
It aims to promote the institutional delivery among the poor pregnant women.
Yeah,
it must be also right, sir.
Institutional delivery
Yes.
is where we reduce the
Maternal mortality rates.
Yeah.
Its objective include providing public health facility to sick infants up to 1 year of age.
So
Are they giving 1 year up to, sir?
you can eliminate this.
Yes.
Just if you are taking this
Mortality.
neonatal mortality, so
Yes.
this is up to only 28 days.
Yes.
So by if you understand that, you can eliminate this.
Okay, the answer must be only two pairs then.
Yeah.
Next, 82. Consider the following statement in the context of interventions being undertaken by under Anemia Mukt Bharat strategy. I think this in this year budget also they given this
So we
Anemia
have
Mukt Bharat
certain targets for
targets. So it provides prophylactic calcium supplementation for preschool children, adolescent and pregnant women.
Yeah.
Is it right, sir?
this can be eliminated because anemia is because of the deficiency of iron.
Iron.
So iron
it cannot
folic
be.
acid is given supplementation.
It runs a campaign for delayed cord clamping at the time of childbirth.
Yeah, this is
So,
correct.
Yes, obviously.
So it is suggested if we delay the clamping for 3 minutes,
Yes,
so that is much more helpful for the baby.
baby. It provides for periodic deworming to children and adolescents.
Yeah. So this is also correct. Deworming is one of the major causes for malnutrition in the children.
Yes.
So this is also being done under the Anemia Mukt Bharat strategy.
It addresses non-nutritional causes of anemia in endemic pocket with special focus on obviously, sir,
So
malaria
this
and
is also
fluorosis.
correct. Yeah.
Endemic area. So the answer must be 3 pairs.
Only 3.
83, sir. Consider the following statement. Carbon fibers are used in the manufacture of components used in the automobiles and aircrafts, very lighter
Yeah,
ones.
this is correct.
We used a lot.
Yeah.
Carbon fibers once used cannot be recycled. Is it so, sir?
So this is not true.
We can
because
recycle, sir.
Recycling is expensive,
Yes.
but
But can be.
it can be.
It can be, yes.
Yeah, it can be.
But they are saying it cannot, obviously. So only one statement must be right, right, sir. 84, sir. Consider the following action. Detection of car crash collision which results in the deployment of airbags almost instantaneously.
So this is asking about which of the following are
Is
related to accelerometer.
So it is not related to, is
So
it
this
related
is
to
accelerator-
accelerometer?
this is
Because
related to
as soon as accelerator
Yeah,
stops
yeah.
immediately, then airbag will release.
No.
Yeah.
See, this is a sensor that is deployed there. So if the acceleration is much more during a crash,
Yes.
the braking is much more. So as
Yes.
a result, your
That-
acceleration will be much more.
Proportional, obviously
yeah.
the brake that will be deployed.
Yeah,
Detection of accidental free fall of a laptop towards the ground which results in the immediate turning off of the hard surface.
Hard drive.
Yes,
So this is
hard
also
drive.
correct. So whenever your phone is falling also,
Yes.
so that is detected by your accelerometer itself.
Yes. Detection of the tilt of the smartphone which results in the rotation of display between the portrait and landscape modes.
So this is not accelerometer. This is your gyroscope sensor that is
Yes.
present in your phone. So this is related to your
So
rotation.
more or less they are asking about the function of the accelerometer
Yeah,
then. So two statements must be right, sir.
So this is asking about the basics of your understanding of the basics.
Accelerometer.
Yeah.
So answer must be B.
Yeah.
With reference to the role of biofilters in recirculating aquaculture system, biofilters, consider the following statements. So biofilter provide waste treatment by removing the uneaten fish feed.
So this is biofilters objective is to reduce pollution in the water.
Yes.
It is not about removing
Fish food and it's
uneaten
not the
fish
bread.
food. So this can be done using
Some other normal
nets,
filter also.
Normal filters also.
Normal filter
For
also.
that biofilters are not necessary.
Not necessarily for
Yeah,
that. And biofilters converts ammonia present in fish
Yes.
waste to nitrates.
So ammonia and phosphorus are the major pollutant in the water that is there.
Yes.
So in order to conserve water, we have to control this ammonia and phosphorus.
This biofilter increase the phosphorus as a nutrition for fish in
So
water.
it does not increase, it decreases.
Decrease because it's obviously a pollutant.
Yeah,
So
it has to be decreased.
it has to be decreased, sir.
Yeah.
So only one pair must be right, sir. 86 Cephids.
So these are related to your
clouds.
astronomy.
Yes, sir, astronomy. Clouds of dust and gas in space. Nebula star which brighten and dim periodically. Is it so, sir? Nebula.
No. This nebula is giant cloud of gas and dust.
Gas and dust, and it generally at the end of the star's life. Is it?
No. This is actually the beginning of the stars.
When star is getting formed.
Yeah.
Even gravitational waves will come from here.
No.
Can we expect that?
No.
Gravitational wave from
Gravitational waves, they come when they are interacting with black holes or two neutrons.
Recently, because LIGO was in news.
Yeah.
Pulsars, neutron stars that are formed when massive stars run out of fuel and collapse.
So
It's a very
that
fast moving one, sir.
So this is correct only. Pulsars is a special category of neutron stars.
Yes.
So here you will be, because of the magnetic field that is present, you will be seeing certain pulses that are emitted from the magnetic poles of these stars.
So they are fast moving ones. So one must be right.
Cepheids are, these are both interchanged.
Okay. It must be there, it must be here. So this is purely on the astronomy based one, space. Which one of the following countries has its own satellite navigation system? Japan, obviously.
So Japan, this is also PYQ.
BIDAO. So BIDAO is China. Japan recently announced. Previous year question. Consider the following statements, sir. Ballistic missiles are jet propelled at subsonic. They are asking about subsonic.
So this is not true. So this is basically comparison between ballistic and
this
cruise
one is
missiles.
cruise missile.
So
Cruise is the BrahMos. Ballistic is this Agni.
So ballistic missiles, they are always powered by rocket motors.
Obviously, sir.
So cruise missiles, so they are sometimes in the initial phases they are you can say propelled by your rocket motors, but later on they will be jet propelled.
Jet propelled. So first statement is a wrong one. Agni 5 is a medium range supersonic cruise missile, while BrahMos is solid fuel intercontinental ballistic missile.
So both are interchanged actually.
Yeah, because BrahMos is a very short range. Agni 5 is a 5,000 kilometers obviously. So we can say that D, neither one, not two, sir. Consider the following statement regarding the mercury pollution, sir. So gold mining activity is a source of mercury pollution in the world. Yes, it can be possible. Coal-based thermal power plant cause mercury pollution. Is it, sir? From coal also, can we get this mercury?
Whenever coal is burnt, some trace amounts of mercury that is present in the coal is released.
So it can be possible. There is no non-safe level of exposure to mercury. So we don't have any set standard, I think so.
This is, we are not very sure about this because there are certain uses of mercury. For example, in dentistry we use mercury.
Yes.
There are certain cases where we don't want mercury. For example, in water we don't want mercury. But in air, if it is to a certain extent, we can tolerate it.
Yes.
So we are not very sure. So that's why right now we are going with B.
Only two statements are right. 90, sir. With reference to green hydrogen, consider the following statement. Yes, in this budget also introduced. It can be used directly as a fuel for internal combustion. Yes, it can be blended with natural gas and used as a fuel for heater power generation. It can be used in the hydrogen fuel cell to run the vehicles. Even they given how many, sir? 13,000 or somewhere around how many crores they allocated?
18,000, sir.
18,000 crores.
Somewhere closer to 19,000.
Yes. I mean, we used to have this brown, grey and blue hydrogen.
So Toyota is coming up with a new combustion engine for specifically for green hydrogen.
Green hydrogen.
Most of them, they might be confused with use of green hydrogen in fuel cell.
Yes.
So, but in fuel cell, we need hydrogen before.
Obviously.
So that's where the green hydrogen comes into picture.
Comes into hand. 91. Consider the following statement with reference to India. According to MSME Act 2006, the medium enterprises are those with investments. This is about limits they are asking about. So 15 crores to 25 crores medium enterprises. All bank loans to MSME qualify under priority sector. This one is right, sir.
This is not correct, sir.
Second statement is right.
Second statement. All bank loans generally they are considered as priority sector lending. So this is
only the second statement is right. 92. With reference to central bank digital currency, consider the following. SCBD. It is possible to make payment in digital currency without using the US dollar or SWIFT system.
This is correct.
A digital currency can be distributed with a conditioned program into such a time frame for spending it. That means with this much time down only you have to spend
it.
Like an electoral bond.
Chinese digital yuan is a basic example of this. Digital yuan.
Okay.
So Chinese yuan. So that is they have a time frame. Those people have to spend that currency within that time frame.
Even when we talk about this electoral bond also, you have to spend within 15 days. Otherwise, the money will go to PM gears. In the context of finance, the term beta refers to it is generally fluctuating, which deals with the stock market changes, beta value. So it's a economy based current affairs ones.
Basically, this is the response of the stock price to the fluctuation in the market.
Yes, sir.
So
I mean, how the stock price varies, whether the stock price is increasing or decreasing
with respect to the overall market.
With the overall, how it is responding. 94. Consider the following statement. SHGs generally started by the State Bank of India. It must be NABARD. SHGs all members of a responsibility. Yes, that is the reason the pressure will be on the everyone if someone is getting default. The RRBs and scheduled cooperative, of course, they have to give the loans under periodic sector lending. Two statements are right. 95. Consider the following statement. India's public sector healthcare system largely focuses on curative care with a limited preventive, promotive and rehabilitation. This must
So
be
this
right.
is true. This is true. So
Yes.
because we are mostly focused on tertiary care and secondary care,
Once the person is getting diseased,
Yeah.
we are curing them, but we are not
we
preventing.
are not preventing the diseases.
Under India's decentralized approach to healthcare delivery, the states are primarily responsible for organizing the health service. It must
So
be in
this
the
is
state
true.
list here.
Yeah, state list. Public health is in
Okay.
the state list.
So both are right, but it is not
Statement-
necessarily the explanation,
Yeah,
right
reason,
explanation. 96. Consider the following statement. Statement 1. According to United Nations World Water Development Report 2022, India extract more than quarter of the world's groundwater withdrawal each year, sir.
So this
So
is
it must
correct.
be right, sir.
So we are extracting somewhere close to 26%.
Okay.
So this is correct.
Out of the world one.
Yeah.
So India needs to extract more than a quarter of the world's groundwater each year to satisfy the drinking water and sanitation needs of almost 18% of the world population living in its territory.
So this
What
is
about
not
this,
the
sir?
reason.
Okay.
The reason is we are extracting groundwater to irrigate the agricultural lands. So
Yes.
90%, almost 90% of the groundwater extraction is done to satisfy our irrigation needs.
Irrigation.
Yeah. So this is wrong.
It's not about drinking water and
Yeah,
sanitation.
It's not about drinking water and sanitation.
So first one is right, second one is wrong. Then 97. Consider the following statement. According to Constitution of India, central government has a duty to protect state from internal disturbances. Article 355 right. The Constitution of India exempts state from providing legal counsel to person being held in the preventive detention. This is also the rights.
Yeah.
According to the Prevention of Terrorism Act, confession of the accused before the police can be
Can be.
used as evidence.
Yeah.
It is not cannot. So only two statements are right, sir. What do you say, sir?
Yeah, this is correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which one of the following countries has been suffering from decades of civil strife and food shortage, which was in news in the recent past? So obviously, recently it was in Somalia. Even they requested the help from World Bank and all these things to declare this as a famine, as an emergency and all.
Yeah. So even if we don't know, we can guess this.
Yes.
So based on the decades long of civil strife,
Yes,
so
sir.
we can understand. In Angola also we have civil strife, but it has ended long back.
Yes.
So Costa Rica and Ecuador also, they are not experiencing civil strife to such a
And
large
not
extent.
famine also.
Yeah.
Because these are mature in the Costa Rica, it is in the very good rainfall region.
Yeah.
You can't export.
Yeah.
99. Consider the following statements. Sir. In India, Biodiversity Management Committee are key to the realization of the objective of the Nagoya Protocol Biodiversity. What do you say,
So
sir?
this is correct, sir. So basically, these are the third level of you can say management, biodiversity management that is there. So
Yes.
we have National Authority, Biodiversity Authority. Then we have
Yes.
state biodiversity boards.
Yes.
So then we have this biodiversity management committees. So this is correct only.
Yes. The committee's management have important functions in determining access and benefit sharing, including the power to levy collection fee and the access of biological resources within its jurisdiction. It's
This is
about
also
the
correct, sir.
yeah.
So most of you might think that they don't have the power to levy collections. So whenever you see the you can say material regarding this, so mostly they say that it is to prepare the people's biodiversity register.
Okay.
But they also have power to levy collections because there is a local biodiversity fund that is available.
Okay.
So generally that is bolstered by levying fees or levying certain fines or from the grants by the state biodiversity board.
So both statements must be right.
Yeah, both are correct.
Consider the following statement in respect of election to President of India, sir. The members nominated to the Parliament or Assembly, they will participate. No, they won't participate, sir. Higher the number of elective assembly strength, higher the lower the value because it comes under the denominator.
Yeah.
The value of each MLA of Madhya Pradesh is greater than this. Is a factual interest, sir. This is wrong. Also,
this-
actually, Kerala is higher, sir.
So this is actually correct only, sir.
Is how, sir? 1971
Madhya Pradesh
census.
is around 7 crores, Kerala is around 4 crores. So this is around 230 seats and this is around 140 seats.
But when we are calculating, Kerala is coming high.
Kerala is coming, huh?
Yeah, that is just now we checked, sir.
Okay.
1971. Anyhow, benefit of doubt. 1971.
Yeah.
We checked this one, sir. And fourth one is damn sure right, sir.
It's
This is
based
one.
on 1977 population.
Yeah,
not
present is-
2011.
No, not 2011, sir. In present election, we are going for the 1971, sir.
Okay. Then
So
it-
this
yeah,
one is
then-
wrong, sir.
Okay.
Only the fourth statement is each MLA of Puducherry is higher than the Arunachal Pradesh. This statement is
correct,
right.
yeah.
Only one statement is right, students.
Yeah.
So ఇది
So
మనకి
you have to then
yeah.
you have to change this answer.
answer A.
We have given the answer based on 2011 census. That
No, sir. Present election will follow the 1971 census.
Okay.
ఇది స్టూడెంట్స్ మనకి పవన్ సార్ జోగ్రఫీ అండ్ ఎకానమీ మన ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్ క్వశ్చన్స్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేశారు కదా. అండ్ ఐ హోప్ మీకు మంచి ప్రిపరేషన్ ఉండి అండ్ మెయిన్స్ క్లియర్ అవ్వాలని కూడా మేము ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ చేస్తున్నాం. క్లియర్ కాని వాళ్ళు మనకి ఐడియా వచ్చింది కదా మీకు ఎలా చదవాలని, దీన్ని బట్టి మీరు తీసుకోవచ్చు. మీ వ్యూస్ చెప్పండి సార్ ఒకసారి.
So overall, I feel that paper is not very difficult. For probably freshers, it might feel very difficult. But for people who have studied, focused on the basics, they can easily qualify this paper.
Okay.
So and unless and until they have done too many guesses, so they will be qualifying this paper.
Thank you, students. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.